this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you are behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages of vacant. Modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back again. Good afternoon, good evening to everyone out there watching live on your own comfort zone. Welcome back to Football Minutes Live, brought to you by Blueclouds Media YouTube channel. We stream live on two platforms, which is X and YouTube at the same time. What a nail-biting game did we all witness yesterday? On Saturday, did we witness on Saturday against Chelsea and Bournemouth. When Chelsea make a trip to the Vitality Sports Stadium, it looks like a game that was going to be easy, but it's always a difficult game when they travel to the Vitality Sports Stadium. Not everyone gets that easy over there, but Chelsea was able to snatch win. Yes, Chelsea was able to snatch the victory at Bournemouth Football Club, but it wasn't that easy. Christopher Nkunku, late winner, seals the deal. Sancho makes a dazzling debut and witnessed the Premier League history with a record number of yellow cards. 14 yellow cards were being given by the man himself who never get himself out of the spotlight, Anthony Taylor. Gave unnecessary yellow cards. Some of them I think they were very, very unnecessary. But this time we're going to look at the positives, the negatives of yesterday's game. I'm sure there is a lot of positives that we took away from Saturday's game between Chelsea and Bournemouth. And also we'll be looking at other the weekend fixtures, Saturday, Sunday, some fixtures that took place. We'll be looking at the victory, the comeback of Everton, the victory of Aston Villa, that wonder goal from John German. We're going to look at that goal also. And also Manchester United, big winners of the weekend. United banging 3 goals. Delete has a goal. And some other players will be looking at that. Also, Manchester City, Erling Haaland. And if you're joining us today is when the 115 financial breaches start. It starts today. And there's some key elements in that, the investigation. There's some key elements, in about 5 key, where if those goals against Manchester City, they're going to end up being relegated. And, it will take a while because once they're found guilty, they need time to appeal for that ruling. So it will take a long way. but it starts today. It starts today. So we'll be looking at Christopher Nkunku's clinical, how clinical this player is, and what is the way forward. Christopher Nkunku and Nicholas Jackson. How can Chelsea exploit and have that potential or clinical striker up front? Also, we'll be looking at Jadon Sancho impact from Manchester United at Chelsea. We're gonna look into the manager's press conference and what he said about Jadon Sancho. He said he needs love at a specific football club. You can all agree that these football has changed, and these current footballers they need that kind of a love. Put your hands on their shoulder and let them know you really love them. Also, my question is, does squad depth create so much competition in the team? Is it healthy? Is it healthy for the team, or is it not healthy for the team itself? Does it create so much headache for the manager? We'll also look into that. So we'll be looking at the negative aspect and the positive aspect of Saturday's game between AFC Bournemouth and Chelsea at the Vitality Sports Stadium, and other news trending in the English Premier League. Also, Javier Tevez have come up with some statements regarding English Premier League. We'll also look into that as we go. And today's stream, guys, we're gonna break it down into stages. We don't want to stay long on one topic, so we're gonna break it down to stages. So we'll be moving on. Else, we're not gonna be able to cover all these topics that I've outlined today. So wherever you are joining us from, please let me know. My name is Nizam. With my co-host who's back in the stage, backstage, who will be joining us here in a bit, Stevie G. So we'll be taking guys through the next few hours of sports talk on this platform. So stay there, stay with us, not go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a few seconds. All aboard, boys are back again. Stephen G is in the building. As far as Sunny is here, definitely Stephen is going to be here. And like I said, I've gone through a series of topics that we will be going through today. So wherever you're joining us from, let us know in the comment section below. Nee is much happy to be here, but guys, I'll tell you, I'm not that healthy today. I got colds, so I sound like I'm speaking from my nose. Absolutely, I got colds and I got a little fever. And this morning I was sweating after taking some few ibuprofen to knock the colds off. It's your kids, when kids start going to school, they're always gonna bring germs to the house. So that's the reason why I sound a little bit like a ghost today. So please apologize for sounding like a ghost. But anyway, Steven, welcome back again. How was your weekend?
It was all right. Can't complain.
Watch a little football?
Huh?
Did you watch a lot of football?
Football or American football or both?
Football. Your football. We're talking about soccer right now, so football.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to talk about American football, I'd say American football.
2 or 3 games.
Yeah, I think I was able to watch three games on Saturday, and I think 1 game on Sunday.
I watched a bit of the early kickoff on Saturday.
Yeah, I did the early kickoff too. I watched that.
I watched the Chelsea game, and then I watched, obviously, the North London derby yesterday. Then I watched a little bit, but not much, of the Newcastle game as well.
Absolutely. So, Steven, where do we start from? We're going to start from Chelsea. We got 30 minutes to discuss Chelsea's preview between Bournemouth at the Vitality Sports Stadium. Not an easy game. It took a while. It took almost about 10 minutes to go before Chelsea were able to break the deadlock with courtesy, dazzling dribbling skills from Jadon Sancho to Nkunku, the balloon boy, and then he was able to finish very, very well for Chelsea. So, what do you want to say with in terms of that game?
Yeah, I mean, look, it was a difficult game. No one's got to dispute that. First half, we were quite poor. But then in the second half, the longer it went on, the better we got. But I said it in a group chat at the time, and I've said it to other people that I speak to as well. Chelsea always struggle after the international break. No matter the manager, we always struggle after the international break. I don't know why that is, but it is that way. I think the last time before Saturday, I had to think what day we were on then. The last time before Saturday that I think we won after the international break, I want to say was the World Cup, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think
I think that was the last time we won
it's always difficult
after
for Chelsea.
international break. So that's what, nearly 2 years ago?
Yeah,
So
I agree. Yeah,
look, put it this way, yeah. It's not just because Maresca we struggled, right? Maresca, after international break, his first time we've had an international break with him as manager. There's another one next month, then there's another one in November, right?
Mhm.
We struggled under Tuchel after international breaks. We struggled under Potter after international break. We struggled under Pochettino after international break. For whatever reason, for years, Chelsea have struggled after international break. It was your typical Chelsea post-international break game. And somebody said to me, they said, but one of the common themes for Chelsea in that time is that Chelsea have always had at least one South American that's been on international duty. And maybe there was some sort of link there. But then that doesn't affect the whole team. But then if we look at the starting 11, for example, from Saturday, right? Sanchez got called up. Disasi didn't, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
Fofana pulled out because of his injuries last season, right?
Mhm.
Colwell got called up. Cucurella got called up. Caicedo got called up. Vega got called up. Madueke got called up. Palmer did, but pulled out because of he had muscle fatigue. Neto got called up, and I think Jackson got called up as well. So outside of Palmer, Fofana, Disasi, everybody else in that starting 11 got called up for international duty. So 8 of your starters from Saturday for Chelsea got called up for international duty. I need to double check Jackson. I think he did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Played Burkina Faso and Burundi, or however you pronounce it.
He played 2 games, and I think the
Yeah,
main reason why
Faso and
Chelsea,
Burundi. But it's another bit of fairly long travel, really.
I put 2 or 2 together, and why I believe Chelsea struggled during after international break. One, the unit, or would I say harmony? Or would I say players have got a long day? Some are traveling from quite a long distance to back to London. One, those from South America, long trip. You're talking about almost about
2, but only
10
one
hours.
that played on Saturday. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, those that are traveling from there, and those that are coming from Africa, long trip. I think it's a long trip from America to Africa than it is from Africa to London. Or to London. It's not that long, maybe 5-7 hours. But here from America to Africa is about 12 hours, depending on the location. But yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, from Senegal to London, it's about 6 hours. So Jackson flew about 6 hours from Senegal to London at the end of his international break.
And he's going to need recovering time. He needs recovering time to recover and also get back to, training again. And it could be one of the reasons why it always affects the players after international break and cannot perform very well. But let's look at the bigger picture over here still. Let's look at the negative a little bit, then we can start. Or should we start with the positive of
Saturday? Whatever order you want, but I'm just going to quickly add, right? Okay. So I said 8 of the 11 starters travelled for international duty, correct?
Yeah.
Because only 3 didn't. Chelsea made 4 subs. So Chelsea used 15 players, right?
Mm-hmm.
2 of our subs were Well, actually, let me correct myself. Only 1 of our 3 subs had been on international duty. That was João Felix. Yeah. Sancho obviously was not. Christopher Nkunku was not. And nor was Tosin Adarabioyo. Right? So 9 of the 15 players that Chelsea used got called up for international duty in the last couple weeks. Whereas Bournemouth don't really have that issue. They'll have a couple, but they won't have the numbers that Chelsea have, right?
Oh yeah. You're
And look,
talking
that's
about
no
almost
disrespect to
majority of the
them.
squad.
Like, they're a solid team, but they're not one of the big teams, and they can't attract the same level of names, which means they don't have the same numbers, right? But
I agree.
that's not their fault. Chelsea just need to find a way to work around it. That's all that is. And that's why, as we've both said at the start of this show, Chelsea are notoriously bad after the international breaks because of the sheer number of players that get called up from Chelsea compared to some of the other teams. If we were playing an Arsenal, for example, you can't use it as an excuse. But when you're playing someone like Bournemouth, who don't have those same numbers, like if I quickly load this up now, right?
Mhm.
Chelsea now have West Ham on Saturday.
Yeah,
They got
that's the next fixture.
Yeah. Away from home though. Then got Barrow at home, Brighton at home, Ghent at home, Nottingham Forest at home.
Can you show it? Can you show it? You have anything? I'll big up to.
I will in a second. But after Nottingham Forest, we're on another international break. Our first game after the next international break is Liverpool at Anfield. So you would expect both teams to have players that are tired and fatigued from international travel for that, right? You go a few games in, and then after we play Arsenal a few games down the line, and you've got another international break. After that one, Chelsea have Leicester. Now, Leicester won't have the same numbers. They'll have more than Bournemouth, most likely, but they won't have the same numbers as Chelsea. So again, it becomes an issue Chelsea might need to ease into the game. As we're saying this, I will try and load up the fixtures. My camera's lagging. Just bear with me.
It's all right. It's all right. If you need a little bit, I can give you time so I can go through a few comments.
I'll get in it up now. I just got to make sure it loads correct. And then once I've done that, I'm going to go to share screen. All right, here we go. Present, share screen, no audio. And I want that tab. Give me 2 seconds because I'm scrolling down. So I get rid of the advert. There we go. We're good.
Ready now? All right,
yeah.
Go. Okay,
yeah.
So we're looking at the Chelsea's next fixture, right?
Mm-hmm.
Upcoming fixtures. All right, take us through it.
Yeah. So as I was going through, right? Got West Ham early kickoff on Saturday.
Okay.
Hang on. Let me just do something. There we go.
I think it's clear.
Yeah, I know. It's just easier to, to zoom in a bit more. Plus, what this does, now that I've zoomed in, it makes it even clearer because what I'm going to do is... So, West Ham away, right?
Yeah.
Then, Barrow at home in the Carabao Cup next Tuesday. So, 8 days from today, we'll be playing at Stamford Bridge against Barrow, who are, I want to say League 2? Could be wrong, could be League 1, but it's one of the League 1 or League 2. After that, Chelsea are home to Brighton on the Saturday. That game's followed by another home game to Ghent in the Conference League, which is then followed up by Nottingham Forest at home on the Sunday. So Chelsea have West Ham away and then across three different competitions. My brain's so mixed up. West Ham away, then we got 4 home games in 3 different competitions consecutively, right? Which is a positive. My next point I was making is after Ghent, obviously, like I said, we got Nottingham Forest, yeah? Then, after Nottingham Forest, look at this. Big gap. That's an international break.
Oh, yeah. Before we go, we come back again, and it's going to be a big game. Going to Liverpool.
Yeah. Anfield. Straight after the international break, up to Anfield, 4:30 kickoff on a Sunday, which I actually don't mind us having a Sunday kickoff after the international break. It gives you that extra day to sort of get over the jet lag and stuff like that. So I don't mind that at all, right? Mm-hmm. After that, they're flying to Greece to play Panathinaikos, which by UK time is a 5:45 kickoff. if I then move along, the next game 3 days later is a Sunday against Newcastle at the Bridge. No midweek game that week. Got Manchester United away at Old Trafford. Then Chelsea have FC Noah from Armenia at Stamford Bridge. Following that, 3 days later, got Arsenal at the Bridge. And then we go to the point again of we've got a 13-day gap. You know what that means? International break time again. September, October, November got international breaks. Come back from that, it's a 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday, which is a pain in the backside. It's away from home. Then got to travel to Germany for away game in the Conference League to Heidenheim. And then following that, we're back at the Bridge on the Sunday for a game against Aston Villa, right? The main point that I'm making here, right, is that when it comes from international breaks, Chelsea typically struggle, right? The fact that out of the 3 international breaks to start the season, I'll leave it on this bit for now, because this is a difficult stretch that we have here. Here's like a difficult stretch that we have, obviously, with Newcastle, Man U, Arsenal. There was the Liverpool game a couple games before that as well, but that doesn't show on this page, unfortunately. But the thing that I'm looking at is that we struggle after international breaks, right? However, at the same time, it's not just a nothing reason, right? I'm going to stop sharing this because it might stop the lag. There we go. Stop the lag straight away. It's not a nothing reason. There's something to it, and it would appear to be the number of players that Chelsea have that are internationals compared to some of our opponents, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully,
you expect that almost Chelsea doesn't bring in just useless players. They always bring in top of the notch players, and those players are always
Chelsea bring in international players because Chelsea are that level where they can bring in a lot of those players, whereas a Bournemouth can't bring in as many. Yeah, do that because that looked like I was swearing, even though I wasn't. But what I do like is that with the Liverpool game being after international break, thankfully that's a Sunday. And okay, that means Liverpool get an extra day as well, but it also means that Chelsea get that one extra day as well. Maybe that helps. Maybe it doesn't. We'll find out.
That's right. Maybe it helps. Maybe it doesn't. We'll find out according to Stephen G. Thank you very much.
I think it'll have an impact. I do think it'll have an impact.
I do agree with you, Stephen. Pick up to everyone out there. If you're watching us live on YouTube, we got 10-11 of us watching live. But do not forget to drop a like and support this platform. Yes, very, very important. Support the platform as we're getting close to 4K. And here soon, we're making up to 5K. Without you guys' help and support, we can achieve that aim. So thank you guys, everyone that is joining us here, wherever you're watching us from an X. If you're watching us on X, follow us. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe and like the video. All right, man, like Phantom of many topics. The Phantom has big announcements. Send the link as usual. Phantom, thank you very much for your support. Chelsea down in the building. Chelsea down said the big up new. What a poor start. We should have lost that game. Wasn't for Sancho and Nkunku, we would have won. We wouldn't win that game. Okay, but you have to remember that those players are being paid huge amount of money to be part of this team. Yes, they're to be part of the club. So everyone has to contribute. If someone is not doing his job very well and somebody else comes on and impact the game, that's his job. You get what I'm saying? So it's a collective, work. It's teamwork. So someone has to do something different to get the team to win. At the end of the day, it's a collective, like I said, collective work, and we all benefit from that 3 points. So Dan said that big up Steve, good Lavia, Gusto Enzo all back for West Ham game. And also Phantom said, no way, Dan. Phantom is first in line to speak. I hear you guys are fighting about who speaks first. I love that. Dan said if we had a West start, if we play like this against West Ham, we will lose that game. Every game, Dan, you have to remember every game is different. Every game is different. Maybe West Ham will not sit as deep as Bournemouth. Bournemouth did not even sit so deep. They were attacking Chelsea. They were attacking Chelsea, and you have to remember that Chelsea are still under rebuilding, and there's a philosophy.
And we were coming off of an international break where 8 of our 11 starters had travelled.
That's right. There's a lot going on. It will take them. I can see what they're trying to do, but it will take time for them to click. Look how long it took Pep Guardiola, over 3 years or 4 years before he started winning Premier League. So that's where we're heading towards. Once Enzo Maresca keep building and building the team, and he gets that players to help him out, you'll see the real nature of Chelsea. And I believe that. I believe it will happen. Phantom has a huge announcement. Phantom, I've read that one already. Phantom, right. So this is in between. Should I come back in 30 minutes? I don't understand why you should come back in 30 minutes. This is also what I've said, Phantom. I've told you guys that as soon as you start the stream, I can't put a link there because it will distract the presentation. It will distract the talk on the show, because once we have you guys on, it means that it will set us back a little bit. So we want to keep the show flowing and then have our fans come in. Dan, I know Dan is Dan. I could have sent it to Dan, but I forgot. But Phantom, I've told you, get your X application, your account, and follow me so I can send you the link. Because we always got a lot of people watching. I can put the link in there right away. We make sure we go through all the topics, and then we open the line, or we drop the link there for anyone else to come in once we have a few minutes to go. We always say we open the line, or we give you guys a chance to have your say. Definitely, I will let you have your say, but not in the beginning of the stream. I can't do that. It will distract the flow of the content. Dan said that we have 2 weeks international game jokes according to Dan. We will lose 3 games and win European Cup and Cup game according to Dan. Phantom said it really doesn't pay off to show up early. I tell you how hours ago I have a big announcement and you don't send the link. You have a Chelsea. You hope Chelsea this season plays. I don't get that one from Dan. Fair enough, I will understand your rules and I will adjust accordingly. Thank you very much, Phantom, for understanding. I told you if you have followed me, I would have sent a link there. But publicly, I cannot put a link in there right now because anyone that sees it can click on it and join. But it's not the time yet. You get what I'm saying? We have a special guests that we bring on during certain events that we need them to speak. So that one we send the links to them directly. So we start the show with them. But if we allow the fans to come in and have a say, that has to be towards the end of the program. You get what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense.
It's not a thing specific to any one individual in terms of not sending it in there straight away. It's because of if we do, it could be one of the days like we've had recently where we get 5-6 people in, and then you don't actually get into the content. You end up talking about other things. And that's why he's saying, like, if you've got a social media and you follow him, he could send it to you. I remember you saying that you don't have a Twitter at the moment or something. You lost access to it or something, I think you said.
Phantom said that.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's more that we can't put it in the YouTube comments straight away because otherwise we could end up getting loads of people in and we don't get into the content. That's why we normally do it about 30, 45 minutes in, because by that point we've got through the bulk of it and then others can join as well.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Steven, for explaining that. So, guys, do not worry. In a bit, I'll send a link there. And Phantom, you can come in and announce whatever announcement that you have. But if you're sticking with us and listening into the
I got a feeling you know what it is.
The topics that we have, that would be nice. Okay. All right. So Stephen G. Chelsea started with a few the lineup. Let me share the lineup on the screen. Let me share the lineup.
Have you got it?
Yeah, I got the lineup here. Yeah. Was it this? Not sure that.
Yeah.
That was the lineup. Yeah, Bournemouth
Yeah.
is down here. So yeah, the lineup should even tell you guys that Chelsea, we're going to suffer in this game.
I don't know
Because,
if it's just on my end, but it's not come out clearly with the names. I don't know what it is.
yeah, I see it very clear.
Might be a
Guys,
connection
let me know if
issue
you
on
can see
my
it
end.
very clear.
Might be a connection issue on my end.
Yeah. Downstairs, but when you have good players like Sancho and Nkunku, that's why we finish our chances. And Bournemouth penalty was poor. Absolutely, it was Clivett who was going to take that penalty, and
No, it wasn't.
the other guy took it away from him.
It wasn't. Palmer said to I can't remember the guy's name that took it now, but Palmer was in his ear going, "You should let him take it." Talking about Clivett, saying, "You should let Clivett take it. He's better at penalties than you. Let him take it." So he got in his head. Palmer got in there, take his head. But the thing is, yeah, you know how last season, yeah, Chelsea would give the ball to, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a random name off the top of my head. Enzo, for example, right? So then the people think Enzo's taking a penalty, so they go to him, which leaves Palmer free so people can't try to distract him, right? It's about protecting the players, right? I think another time we sort of moved Palmer away and had a lot of our players around him because it stops the opponent getting into their ear and chatting and trying to get into their head, which is what Palmer did against Bournemouth on Saturday. They didn't do anything, so he was just there going, let him take it, let him take it, let him take it. He's better, let him take it. So then obviously the guy, he's in his head and the guy's just taken a poor penalty that was easily saved by Sanchez because Palmer got in his head. But I think I saw somewhere that the guy that took the penalty hasn't taken many penalties, whereas one of their players, it might have been Clive, it might have been someone else, hasn't missed one yet.
I thought they said that Clive is a penalty expert, and he was supposed to take that penalty, but the striker took it the penalty.
No idea. But I think I saw something that this guy hasn't taken many penalties, and then Clive or one of their other players has taken 8 and scored 8 or something.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm going, why did you not just give it to him, right? If he's got such a good record. Because it's what we did with Palmer, right? Palmer took a couple because a couple players missed them. And then he just kept scoring. So he just kept giving it to him. Having said that, our players did fight over about 4 penalties last season. So make it out what you will.
Right. Guys, if you're looking at the game, before the game, this is the starting lineup that Chelsea put up. And if you look at the starting lineup, there were so a few question marks. And the question marks, so we have Sanchez in there, which was correct. Disasi, we know Disasi will not be our right back player. We have 2 top players in the Premier League that were not in the game yesterday. So definitely Chelsea were going to suffer. I knew Chelsea was going to suffer before coming up with 3 points. Disasi, if everyone is fit, I know I've told you guys Disasi will never start. It's either going to be James or Malo Gusto. And we've seen Malo Gusto returning and training. Also, Fofana, I expect him to start. And Kowa, I also expect him to start. Cucurella, I expected him to start. To Viega, we saw another player having his debut, on Saturday, which is Renato Viega. He did very, very well. We'll look into it. Steven is giving his thoughts on Viega on his debut. And also Caicedo, captain of the day, Caicedo. And we have a Palmer who also started. Palmer expected because he was out for a while. And then, getting that fatigue or shaking it off and then getting himself ready after he was being sent away from the England duty during international break. We have Palmer starting. Madueke expected him to start. Neto also expected him to start. Nicholas Jackson also expected to start. So the players that we're not expecting them was Viega and Disasi. That alone can distract the how will I call it, the flow of a team, because this is not our main starting 11. So even if you guys can watch my starting 11 that I put up, it was just I think it was only one player that was missing from it. That was Renato Viega. Steven, so I was 95% right. I was 90% right in terms of my predicted starting lineup that I put in the video. But all right, Steven, let's talk about the understanding between Marc Cucurella and Jadon Sancho over there, and the impact that Jadon Sancho put in place in the game against Bournemouth on Saturday.
Yeah, we weren't really going down the left as much as in Chelsea's left side, Bournemouth's right side, as much in the first half, if I remember rightly, which meant that the impact of Pedro Neto was limited. Then when Sancho came on, we started going down that side a bit
Hold
more.
on, Steven, you speaking of Neto, I had something. I'm not so sure how true that is. Was he injured?
I think it was purely tactical. We haven't heard anything about him being injured from Maresca or anything.
Okay.
So I'd imagine it's purely tactical. He wasn't really in the game. We weren't really going down his side much, which meant that he didn't really have an impact. So he made a change, and then for some reason we suddenly started going down that side a bit more. And look, I don't think anyone can dispute the fact that when Sancho came on, he had an impact. Even before he got the assist for the Christopher Nkunku goal, he was causing them problems defensively. I was meant to load something up and I've loaded up the wrong thing. But even before that goal where he got the assist for Nkunku, obviously the only goal of the game, he was still having an impact throughout his 45. Well, by that point, it would have been 40 minutes because the assist came in at 86. So that would have been the 41st minute. But even before it, like I said, the first 40 minutes of him being on the pitch, he was having an impact. He was causing them problems. I'm just trying to find it now. So he was on the pitch for 45 minutes, yeah?
Yeah.
Got one assist, completed 24 out of 28 passes, created 2 chances. He had 39 total touches. Now, if I quickly go to Neto.
Yeah.
Neto had 25 touches. Okay, Neto had a fair few. He had a similar number of touches, to be fair. I just think for whatever reason, Neto wasn't as impactful as what he was a couple games before. But look, I'm not going to complain. At the end of the day, look, what I will say is Chelsea got a scrappy win. And not every win's got to be pretty. And if you can't understand that as a football fan, yeah, then I don't know what to tell you. You clearly don't understand that no team's ever going to win pretty 100% of the time. Not even the best teams in the world are winning pretty every time. Sometimes you have these scrappy wins, right? And if anything, that helps, right? It helps the players develop more, I think, if you have a couple of the scrappy games. Obviously, you don't want it much, but I think they're going to learn more from the scrappy wins of having to actually fight even harder than what you potentially would expect, right?
I mean, how do you expect to have the better game if one referee is given 14
Oh,
yellow cards?
mate, don't. You know I can go on for
14 yellow
days.
cards. Anthony Taylor given 14 yellow cards. Once, look, this psychologically, once you receive a yellow card, it affects your style of play. It affects your movement. It affects how you tackle. 50-50 tackles you want to drop back because you don't want to have any contact because this referee is really ready to show someone a red card. That was what he was looking for. He was ready for that. And I'm sure that Bournemouth should have seen a red card, but he didn't do it. Bournemouth should have seen a red card. I'm not sure if that was the captain or someone else. Was definitely supposed to see a red card, but he didn't give a red card out because one of them deserved a double yellow on the pitch.
Who was it? I know when I see him. Lewis Cook.
Lewis Cook. What about him?
That's the player.
Oh, yeah. The Bournemouth player. Was it the striker? Mm-hmm. I mean, the captain. Was it him?
No. The captain's their right back.
Yeah, one of them was supposed to see a yellow card. But anyway,
guys, Lewis Cook was the one that you're on about. Should have got sent off before half time.
Absolutely. Steven, let's make it real quick. Let's move it on. Mm-hmm. Move on from there. We'll talk about Sancho a little bit and his impact. We'll talk about Nkunku also. He's finishing. Nkunku and Jackson, Nicholas Jackson, those two players up front. Do they always start with Jackson? Because it's still, do we still need to give Jackson the time to get better? Because I know Chelsea are not going to win the Premier League this season. But the most important thing for Chelsea this season is to break into the top 4. And after breaking into top 4, you expect them to challenge for the Premier League trophy the following season. How can Chelsea break into the top 4? It's by being clinical. It's by scoring a lot of goals and having Nicholas Jackson up front. I understand he's got a new contract. It ends in 2033. That's a long time to come. But Jackson need to get better. If Jackson is not finishing those chances, we need to have Nkunku up there. And I understand you can give a different dimension. You have a number 9 out there. Once you take the number 9 off in a certain period of time, bring in the false 9, it can change the dimension of the game and Chelsea can get more goals. But then later we push these things, the difficult it becomes for the team to score goals. What's your thoughts on this? Also, Jackson and Nkunku, the striking role, Steven.
Mm-hmm. I think there's some games where you're going to need to play someone else. Maybe it is an Nkunku, for example. For me, look, Jackson's had a good start to the season for the most part, yeah? I think overall he's been good. And we spoke about him the other day, and I said exactly this pretty much or very similar to this.
Okay.
So it's not... Excuse me. Silly thing. It's not something against Jackson as such. It's just certain games you're going to have someone else play because, look, everyone in his team and someone on Sky, I think it was Stephen Warnock, former player, said it as well, right? In terms of the way he explained it, and for once it was somebody on Sky making a good point, yeah, is the quality that Chelsea have in their attack is really good this season. And the quality that you have in the attack means that you have to understand as a player, you're not starting every game, right? For me, I might lean towards starting Nkunku on the weekend against West Ham. Like I said, nothing on Jackson. I think he's been solid. But I just think Nkunku can be a player that can, like, we know he's clinical. We've seen it. Okay, he'll still miss. Every player misses. It happens, right?
Right.
But out of the players we have, I'd want him to be the one that's going to play the number 9/false 9 role out of anyone that isn't a natural striker for us. So for me, I'd probably start him on the weekend and bring Jackson off the bench when their legs are tired. And hopefully Chelsea have 1 or 2 goals by that point, which takes pressure off Jackson. And then other times, I'd maybe start Nkunku in the 8/10 role, for example. But look, it's all about rotation, right? That's how you keep players fit. That's one of the key points that you struggle with. You want a fairly consistent 11 where you can make 1 or 2 changes and not have a drop off in your level because your depth is that good, right? And we spoke about it for Chelsea. If Chelsea can get Sancho playing like that every week, yeah, you've got Sancho, Neto, Felix, Palmer, Nkunku, yeah, Madueke. Madueke looks good this season. Said that the other day as well, yeah. All these players, if they play to the level we know they can, yeah, means that Chelsea have, and I'm not saying this to be biased, but the standard that those players are, if they play to their best, Chelsea could have one of the best attacks in the league.
I think they do. I mean,
on
Chelsea
paper,
has the
sure,
most
but this is what I'm saying. They
attacking
have to be
players in the league.
consistently good and to the level we know they can get to. If they do that, then I can't doubt that it's one of the best attacks in the league.
It is. I mean, I can't disagree on you on that, Steven. Chelsea has the best attacking players in the league.
Bro, the
Nicholas
depth is
Jackson.
mental, man.
Guys, hear me out. If anyone watching me right now, watching the stream right now, what's your thoughts on the Nicholas Jackson and Nkunku situation? Do you agree that we start off Nkunku and we bring Nicholas Jackson 30 minutes to go or 25 minutes, 20 minutes to go to bring Jackson on so he can learn or take the pressure off him and start playing better? I don't know where you guys stand on it. And also, I've sent a link there. Those who are waiting to join us, the link is right there. It's been pinned. If you want to join us here, you're good to go. You can click on it and join us on the platform. Dan, I have sent a link to you. But also, guys, if you haven't liked the stream yet, we only on 9 likes. Let's make it all happen. Drop a like on the video if you haven't. Phantom said 115
No,
Premier
he's
League,
saying. So he said in the message before, and then he
1:15
corrected
p.m.
himself.
Eastern.
But he said that it's fine regarding the show. First 30 to 45 minutes is for Niz and Steven. But I was ahead of Dan in line today. And then he said, okay, Dan can go first. I'll be back. And then that's why he corrected it to the second one. So he was saying 1:15 a.m. if the show's running. But then he corrected himself and said 1:15 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So in about 30 minutes.
I got you, brother. Phantom, I got you. I got what you mean. Do not worry, Phantom. So yes, like I said, everyone watching live on YouTube and X, do not forget, the show is still going. Without you guys' support, we cannot get to the numbers that we're looking for. So subscribe, follow, and also share the video. Share the video on Facebook or anywhere that Chelsea fans are really punched or they've located themselves. Then we can get it going. We'll discuss. Let me know you guys' thoughts on how Chelsea should move forward in their striking department. With Chelsea have a lot of competition. Like I said, there is a lot of competition for the players out there. They have a bunch of players, a lot of wingers. And I'll say this. If you look at Erling Haaland and Nicholas Jackson is a better footballer than Erling Haaland. But when you talk about finishing and scoring goals, nowhere near can Nicholas Jackson compare himself to Erling Haaland. Nowhere we can do that. But we're talking about footballer, and football as a footballer, Erling Haaland is still a good footballer. And what Nicholas Jackson does on the pitch, Haaland cannot do it. Haaland cannot take a man on. All he does is put the ball behind the defender. He will run and then he will finish it. Jackson has a problem on doing that. When you put the ball behind the defender, Jackson thinks too much before finishing. But to take a man on, make dazzling skills and play 1-2 passes, number one, Nicholas Jackson. The only thing he's looking for is to how to finish. That's the problem. So two things.
The one thing. Oh, I thought you were on my bad.
Sorry. Scoring a goal is different from being a footballer. Two things in mind. Didier Drogba has both when he was playing for Chelsea. Drogba dribbles and then score goals. Finishing was clinical. And also dribbling, doing so many skills, dazzling stuff on the wings and up front, he was just marvelous. So go ahead, Steven.
Yeah, one of the things I was going to add to that point pretty much was that you were saying about Jackson and overthinking some things.
Yeah.
I think that's something we can all agree on. Sometimes he does overthink it, and then sometimes he doesn't have much time to think, and he'll do something, and you're like, whoa, where did that come from type thing. I think we saw it a couple times last season. He scored a couple goals where it was just like an instinct thing. He didn't have time to think. It was just instinct, bang, goal. Right?
I do, yeah.
And what's that? Oh, okay. And I think that's one of those things that's going to come as he naturally develops. He's what, 23, if I'm not mistaken? Go quickly check this if I've still got the app open. Yeah, he's 23, right? He's only just turned 23 in June as well. Yeah. So naturally, it's going to come with a bit of time. And I think from time to time, if you play a Mark Guy or a Nkunku or a João Felix up top from game to game at times, take a bit of pressure off Jackson, then if that's what you've got to do to help him develop, then that's what you got to do. And he should understand that, because you can see the quality that we've got in the squad. We've already touched on it. Like some of those players, like a Felix, like a Nkunku, they've played multiple positions and they still look good. Okay, there's an argument João Felix, for the most part, since leaving Portugal, has not been great in terms of numbers and stuff, right? I can't say much on his performances because I've not watched a lot of him outside of when he was at Chelsea. So I'm not going to comment on that. I can just say from what I've seen and from other people, and you know me, I prefer to watch myself and give my own opinion. I don't think he was great when he was at Chelsea the first time. I think he struggled, but I think a lot of the team was struggling then as well. I also think we could have got someone else for similar amount of money that is probably someone that could potentially bring more quality, or you invest in another area, for example, instead. Do Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think we necessarily needed João Felix when you've got Palmer, you've got Nkunku, you've got Madueke, you've got Jackson, you've got all these players who can play so many different positions. I just think at that point it's kind of overkill. So it's what, look, I've explained it before. It's one of the reasons I wasn't big on the deal in the first place. You know this, and I think everyone in the comments and stuff that watches our shows knows this as well. It wasn't that I thought, oh, he's a terrible player, this, that, and the other. It was more, I'm not sold on him being a Chelsea player based on the sample size that I've seen and based on the stuff I've heard from people with pretty much opinions that I'd say are pretty decent when it comes to football, that I can feel like I trust when it comes to their opinions on it, that maybe watch a few more leagues than I do. I sometimes struggle with that, obviously, being a season ticket holder. Sometimes teams play in certain countries that I wish I could watch, but obviously I can't because I'm at the Chelsea game, for example, which means I miss it rather. For example, if Chelsea have the 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday, right? Yeah. You're talking that game end about 2:15 in the afternoon, 2:15 in the afternoon. Take me at least an hour to get home. So I'm missing at least a start, if not a half, of the 3 p.m. kickoffs. And as we've said before, there are ways to watch them even when they're not on TV, and I will not disclose how, right? But my point is, I try to watch a lot of the Premier League games. If I have the time and I have the energy, I'll try to watch as many of the games as possible on a Saturday. I'll try and watch the 12:30. I'll try and watch the 3 p.m s. And then I'll try and watch the 5:30s, depending if Chelsea are away from home, obviously. Right? And if there's an 8 p.m. kickoff, yeah, I'll watch that as well. But sometimes it's impossible, and I wish I could watch more. But look, I love going to Chelsea games. I'm not going to stop that, which limits me to other games at times, which means I have to trust other people's opinions on what they've watched of players. And sometimes there's people who have a bias towards certain players, but then there's other people that I know that I can trust, that I go to for their opinions, right?
Right.
And sometimes those players watch other leagues, so I can go to them for opinions on someone like a Felix or a Gyökeres or I don't know. Trying to think of a random name off the top of my head right now, and one's not coming. So, but you get my point. There's certain people that I feel like I can trust, and I've spoken to about João Felix and other players as well, where what they've told me about Felix hasn't convinced me on the deal. What I saw from his time at Chelsea didn't convince me, but as I've said, the caveat to that is I don't think anyone really looked great in that time.
Look at this image over here. It's very, very funny. Look at how Chelsea have lined themselves up, like in a specific format. Look at that. Look at how they've lined themselves up. This is standing behind that. This is standing behind him, and then
we can see the Sancho and the Nkunku one.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, if you're watching us live, we are streaming live on.
You're trying to show a different picture because we can see the Sancho and Nkunku one, so I have no idea what you're referring to.
The one on the screen right now. The one on the screen.
The Sancho and Nkunku one.
No, that's the
one that's on the screen.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, I see something different, and you also see something different. This is weird, isn't it? Now, Steven, you're seeing something different. Check because
I'm on StreamYard. I just sent to you now what I can see on StreamYard now.
Well, let me send it to you and see what I also see on StreamYard. This is weird, isn't it?
What is happening?
See what I see?
What on earth?
Yeah, I see that.
How's that possible? Now I can see it.
So probably it's delay on your side.
Maybe.
Because I have other screens on over here. So whatever is happening live right now, it affects the other screens.
Bro, that's so weird. But yeah, I see what you mean now.
Yeah.
This is from a corner kick. This is what a lot of teams did during the Euros in 2016. I think it was the World Cup 2018. It was either the Euros 2016 or the World Cup 2018. I want to say World Cup 2018 in Russia. And you would have all your players, the attacking team,
one line.
in a line. Almost people refer to it as like a train of players where they can all sort of be in one area, and then as the ball's coming in, they split in different directions to split the defenders, which in theory should give you a player who can get to the ball, maybe a free man at times. Or the alternative that it did, and we saw a lot of it at that tournament, was the defenders get desperate and the defenders start holding the players and they drag them down and it's a penalty. Right. So that's where this whole thing comes in. It came in about 6 years ago, roughly.
Okay. All right, so guys, we're going to move on from there. The last, two things more we're going to talk about right now is the player, Axel Disasi. So guys, Axel Disasi will be on our table, and Axel Disasi and Wesley Fofana will be on our table. We're going to talk about these two players a little bit. For the reason, I'm not targeting any player here, but my reason why I want to talk about Fofana is his position, where he is, and some of these mistakes that he makes that can cost Chelsea dearly. But the most important player we have to talk about is Axel Disasi. So guys, stay tuned with us. Do not go anywhere. Blueclouds Media is live streaming on YouTube and X at the same time. So stick with us. Hang in there. We'll be right back in just a short break. Welcome back, guys. So Disasi is a player of interest right now. A player that we'll be talking about. He's really struggling playing for Chelsea at this moment. He played the right back position for Chelsea in the absence of Malo Gusto and Reece James. What do you guys make of his performance against Bournemouth, AFC Bournemouth? The other day? Yes, sir.
That's Madueke.
I'm trying to get his picture. I haven't got a picture right. That's why I keep moving it. I had the picture.
I just looked up from checking something, and I saw Madueke as you're talking about Disasi. Yeah. I was like, wait.
Yeah, I'm talking about Disasi. I had the picture on the screen, and all of a sudden I can't find it. And
that's what happened when you have too many pictures on there somewhere.
Yeah. I had a picture.
I guess you look for that, yeah.
Yeah.
What I will say is, and I've got a link for Fofana in as well. Look, with Fofana, he had a 12-month injury. Yeah?
Yeah.
With Fofana, huh? Yeah. With Fofana, for me, yeah, I think the City game, no one really played well, right? They were maybe a 6 at best. If I'm being completely honest, that's pretty much the whole team. I thought he was okay against Wolves. And the last 2 games, I think he's been better than that. I think he's getting better as the season goes on, as he works that rust off from being off for 12 months of football. He had a couple of moments in the game on Saturday, but that's going to naturally happen. Every player has those, but you're going to have even more when it comes to someone that's been injured for 12 months, right?
Yeah.
So he had 2 or 3 moments, but Disasi, like 2-3 times, his man's got past him and he's blaming the centre-backs, get across, cover me. How about you sprint back instead of jogging or walking back and do your job? You're a right back in this game, in this setup. You are a right back today. Sprint back. Don't be lazy. He done that 3 or 4 times. Then he did mistakes on top of that. Bro, he had an easy pass coming to him. This is Disasi I'm on about, yeah? Had an easy pass coming to him. He somehow didn't control it. I don't even think the ball was going that quick, yeah? I think it was passed from Sanchez. Didn't control it. It goes out for a throw-in, and it's literally at the edge of the Chelsea area. Then he gave it away plenty of times as well. And the thing I say is, like people say about Fofana's ball-playing ability, yeah? I think he's okay when it comes to ball-playing Fofana. But I think for me, him being okay to good on that is fine, right? Because yes, the current game, you need to be able to do that, right? But we know that he's got Levi Colwill next to him, and Levi Colwill can play these line-breaking passes and take 2-3 lines of the opposition out of the game with one ball, right? So for me, if we have a right centre-back that's starting next to Colwell that's good and maybe on his day great, yeah, so long as he's at least good when it comes to ball playing, yeah, I've got no issue with that. Because my main thing is, and look, I know it's the current game and you've got to be able to pass. And like I said, I think Fofana on his day is quite good at that, right? But I think what people expect is, oh, he has to be able to hit these 30-yard passes. No, he doesn't. He literally just needs to be able to play a pass into the midfield to an Enzo or a Caicedo who can turn and then play it further up the pitch or run with it, right? He doesn't have to be a Levi Colwell level ball player who can spray a ball 30, 40 yards, for example, right? That's the way I'm looking at it. For me, if he's... Look, I think Colwell is getting better defensively. I think Colwell is a potential future captain for Chelsea, right? I think he's a leader. I think he's potentially one of the guys that Maresca's got in his leadership group that he spoke so much about in pre-season. But my thing on Fofana is you don't have to be an elite ball player. I think Colwell has the potential to be elite at that. I think he might even be at that already when it comes to his passing ability, right? But for Fofana, I wouldn't, given he's been out for 12 months, I want him to mainly focus on the defensive side of the game, the breaking up passes, the tackles and stuff like that, right? The ball playing can develop. That you can easily develop, yeah? We agree on that, right? You can naturally develop those things.
I have my point on that. I have a little thing I want to say about Fofana once we're done.
Yeah. But that's my thing. Like, he's coming back from 12-month injury. I think he was good the other day. He could be better, but everyone has mistakes in them, as I touched on at the start. I thought he was good against Wolves. I thought he was good against Palace. I don't think he was good against City. I've already said this. I think pretty much everyone was poor when it came to City, maybe average at best, right?
Yeah.
But going back to Disasi I always worry about. And I emphasize it always. Because you know how last season we used to joke and go, oh, Robert Sanchez, like, I can't take it. Like, I used to say, and I haven't so far this season, I think for the most part he's been all right. Yeah? But I used to say about Sanchez, oh, if I were my Apple Watch, I'd look at my heart rate and it'd be like dangerously high, yeah? That's what I get with Disasi, right? Sanchez, I don't get that moment. But when it's Disasi, I get that. At the moment, I still get that. Playing him at right back doesn't help, right? Definitely doesn't help. But even at centre back, he does silly things. So I'm more worried when it comes to Disasi than I am with Wesley Fofana. Part of it is Fofana's been out for 12 months. Yeah?
Yeah.
Another part of it is nobody's got to be perfect every game. You're going to make a couple of mistakes. But when it comes to someone like Disasi, who it feels like he's making mistake after mistake after mistake, 3-4 mistakes in a game sometimes, yeah? And it's not even like, if I remember rightly, the Fofana back pass, it hit sort of his knee, yeah? Can't do much about that. You can't really get power in it. It's one of those things that happens, right? Unfortunately, it led to a penalty this time. It is what it is, right? That penalty got saved. But that was more of a miss hit. It sort of hit high up his leg, right?
Yeah.
It was bad, but at the same time, you miss-hit passes so many times in a game, whether they're weak passes or they don't go to your target. Those things happen as a footballer, right? It was just unfortunate that his led to such a crucial moment. Thankfully, Sanchez bailed it out with the penalty save.
That's right.
But my alarm bells ring for Disasi. Fofana, I think, will be okay. I just think he's working off that rust.
I mean, I can't disagree on you on that, Stephen. A lot of the stuff that you said really makes sense. My only problem with Disasi is Wesley Fofana. Before I go on to it, big up to you, Ajiri. I think Ajiri is the name. He says, "Hi, Stephen. How are you? Wolves versus Newcastle United. Newcastle United, my man of the match is Harvey Barnes of Newcastle United. That guy has a lot of energy. Just like Eddie Howe said after he realized that the game needed some energy. And Harvey Barnes, you can get that from Harvey Barnes all day. 10 out of 10, he's going to give you. He's not that kind of a top tactical player, but he won't let you breathe. He will get on you. He will do whatever he can to make sure he crosses the ball or some power shots. Harvey Barnes will give you that. So I do agree with you, my brother. Thank you very much for being here. Guys, I will stream live on YouTube and X at the same time. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to Blueclouds Media YouTube channel. The show's name is Football Minutes, but we're reviewing the Chelsea game against AFC Bournemouth that took place at the Vitality Sports Stadium on Saturday. And also, we'll be looking at some other Premier League fixtures. So we saw the North London Derby. The North London Derby live up to expectation. What really did Arteta do this time? They went a little bit. People say this game is very, very dull. Let me know your thoughts. And also, if you want to join us on the stream on the studio and discuss some of the games, do me a favor. The link is right pinned in there. You can click on it. If not, then no problem. So, with my problem with Disasi is it looks like he's struggling understanding the English football. Disasi, I don't worry so much about him because, like I said, when everyone is peak, Disasi don't start for Chelsea. He is a backup player right now. That's where Disasi have put himself. It's him, not anyone else, but Disasi is not improving, and he's put himself as a squad player. Wesley Fofana, other way, Fofana is a top player, and I have praised Fofana this season. That in the first game, just like Steven said, everyone is playing badly, and I do understand. And I said Fofana was so bad against Manchester City. He gave lots of balls away, and I get worried because he is our last man in defense. Whenever he makes a mistake, that ball, or that mistake that he makes, most of the time, 80% of those chances will result in goals. So I get worried when he's making those passes. But what happens? That is what you get when you're trying to play out from the back. Lots of mistakes from defenders, lots of mistakes from goalkeepers playing out from the back. But I understand also that with time, they will understand the philosophy and understand each other when they're playing. It will take time. It will take almost about a season, I'll say. And like I said, there's no pressure on these boys. It's the time for them to break into the top four. And then after, if they're able to break into the top four, the next season is for them to try and win the Premier League. And that's where we are. Hopefully, Arsenal doesn't win it. Because if Manchester City is being relegated or being found guilty of their doings, it means that Arsenal could have it a little bit easy. It's still not going to be easy for them. The reason why they couldn't win the trophy last season was they lost. I think they were either West Ham or either Bournemouth or West Ham game where they lost to either Aston Villa. Yeah, against Aston Villa. Aston Villa took some vital points away from Arsenal. That is why they couldn't win. It wasn't a game against Manchester City. It was them against Arsenal. That is why they couldn't win it. So that's my problem with Fofana. I said he needs to be patient in the back and make sure you don't give the balls away because you and the striker, he will score those passes. But besides that, Fofana is doing good. He's learning. It will take time. Still, 5 games in the Premier League. He didn't play nothing, no football for him last season. He will get better.
We've only played 4 Premier League games.
4 Premier League games, 1 European game, so make it 5. So
he didn't play in Europe. He hasn't played in Europe.
He didn't play in Europe. So 4 games already, he will get better with time. So
I mean, like I said, right? He's been out for 12 months. You re-emphasize that point as well, right? That's the main thing. He's been out for 12 months. It's got to take a bit of time. These things happen. I think he'll be fine. I'm not concerned. I think he'll be fine.
Okay. Dan, welcome back to the stream, Mr. Dan. How are you today?
He's not in, I don't think.
I think he's muted. Dan, are you muted?
Hello, no?
No, he's in.
There you are. All right. Welcome back to the stream, Dan.
What's up, my brother?
How are you doing today?
Yeah, like you're talking about, Steve. So I'm a bit late, man. I've been busy. Hey, no one's got slated my boy Wesley Fofana, yeah? He's played 4 games in. 4 games in. And the guy's still doing incredible stuff since his injury from last season. Yeah?
Dan, you know I'm on for
Right?
train.
I'm telling you now, yeah? I'm telling you now. This guy is let him produce himself back to his fitness, back to his own self. Once couple of games in, he'll be fine. But man, this game against Portsmouth is just shambles, bruv. It's shambles. We could not stick up for this team for what happened in that game because it was so poor. We lost every single ball by possession. Every single time when we got the ball, they booted back up. Fair do. Sanchez won the penalty, but Stephen, I had to break it to you. That was a poor penalty, mate. That was a poor penalty. If it was like Eden Haaland or like Bernardo Silva or anyone like that, that would have been a goal. It would have been a goal. But Sanchez somehow left down the line, saved it.
Well, hold on. Dan, before you go on, I'll tell you there's no possibility that Bernardo Silva will make that a goal. He wasted so many penalties that I've seen in the Premier League. Almost about 3, I can remember.
Knee.
Doesn't mean
no,
that.
knee. Bernardo Silva or anyone else in that, Kevin De Bruyne or anyone will bury that goal, right? The situation is you can't stick up for this team all the time, Nick. You know, this is the worst record. I think it was 8 or 9 yellow cards by Anthony Taylor. I better not say nothing about it. So he might send me up and might send me to prison by all these yellow cards. And then you got like Bournemouth, right? The stats was incredible by Bournemouth. Yeah, it was worse since 19 something. Since last time we had the bad stat, they were all over. They dominated the possession. We should have lost that game. It's like, but it happens because look at what we did with Crystal Palace, right? We was all over them. Yeah, in the first half, second half we were a bit poor, but somehow we got a draw and we should have won that game, right? But the situation, soon you put Jadon Sancho, anyway, all the Man United fans go and start crying because I hear you lot are ramping and raging. Oh, like everyone's moaning because Sancho played brilliant football for us in the last 50 minute, the second half. You lot are crying. He comes along and made a difference. He was sharp. He was skillful. He was dribbling. And the balls, like the first touches, the first passing. If it wasn't for him to pass that to Nkunku, because I was so get Jackson off that pitch and get Nkunku on. He will score the winner. Last 10 minutes game, what happened? Brings in Nkunku, Sancho passed the ball. What a lovely tic-tac, yeah, past 3 players and made it 1-0. Fair dues. I'm happy with the 3 points. I am happy with the 3 points, yeah. But I'm not happy by the result play, Nee. That first and second half was disappointment. It was shocking.
Dan, can you tell that they were all coming from international break and most of your starting players did not start because you have no Malo Gusto on the right hand side. James was not there, and who we have Enzo also wasn't playing. So
I'm not making it. I'm not. That's excuses.
That could affect the rhythm of the game, and you're playing away.
No.
Bournemouth is not an easy place to go and pick up 3 points.
Well, but last time we was on the show, you said, and my guys was Stephen. We beat him last season when we had Joe Felix. We had Joe Felix on the pitch, and he was terrible that game. He came on. He was shocking. You're talking about international coming back after international. What did Man City do to Brentford? They battered them. They come back. Half their players came back from international.
You can't compare,
Liverpool.
compare Chelsea and Man City.
Right? No. We can compare. Of course we can. We spent more money on. We spent more millions of dollars on these players than what Man City's done. How can you not compare?
Doesn't make you a Premier League winner.
You can't. Well, my boy, I love you loads.
Hold on, Dan.
My boy, we spent more money. We spent more money. My brother, we have spent more money than Man City. This team, Nkunku's world-class player. Sancho is an experience. He played for Man City and played well, good for Dortmund, got him in
I
the Champions League
disagree. You said we
final.
spent more money than
No,
Man
no,
City.
it's there. How
I
can you
disagree.
disagree on that, bro? How?
I
How?
disagree. I
Enzo's won the
disagree.
World Cup. Enzo won the World Cup, played a year of and he won the Copa Cup, right? He's got experience in winning cups for Argentina. Caicedo, yeah, has never won cups. Yes, he's got a bit of slight experience in the Premier League because he's played for Bayern. Cucurelli's won the European Cup with Spain, and he played world class for Spain. So why is it he plays world class for Spain but can't do it for Chelsea? So you're talking about Gusto being out injured. Yes, fair dues. Enzo not being well, and who's that guy from Leicester? Like who we signed? Very well. Yeah, he's not a really a tactical good player. I don't think he's really good, but he was missing yesterday. The situation is we spent more than anyone in the Premier League, yeah. And people, we've had these players, some of these players, apart from Sancho, apart from uh, who else? Yeah, Fiega, right? Uh, in midfield, yeah. Some of these players like Togo from Fulham, right? Half the rest of the team, we've had them for last 2 years, last 2 seasons. They know how to play together.
All right, wrap it
And you're
up. Down.
talking,
Max is in the
yeah,
studio.
but
Wrap it up. So
yeah,
everything's going.
you're talking, my boy. You're talking. This team, yeah, is played together. Fair enough, we missed the team, but it was so poor against Bournemouth. We should have lost that game. But every day, Sancho came on, brilliant, and got us to win.
We didn't
If we
lose it.
play,
Did we lose it? We
oh
didn't
no,
lose it.
no, we didn't lose it. We got the 3 points. Yeah,
We didn't lose it.
it wasn't deserved 3 points. I say it wasn't deserved 3 points, but we got the 3 points. I'm happy. But the situation, if we're gonna go and play like this against West Ham, like Stephen said, we've got West Ham, Brighton, then Nottingham Forest, right? These are must-win games, and if we don't win these must-win 3 games, and we play like what we played against Bournemouth, we're a long way. We're a long way because the situation. I don't want to even see Jackson on the pitch. He's useless. Yeah, I'd rather have Nkunku up front. Put Nkunku up front. That's what I
Thank you
could
very
say.
much. Thank you very much, Dan. We have Max, and then we have Phantom. I think
Hey guys.
Max entered before Phantom. Max, welcome
Yes.
back to the stream, Mr. Max.
Hi. Sorry, I caught the tail end of that conversation, and I would like to refute what he's been saying, what Dan's been saying. Did you watch the game, Dan? Man City against Brentford.
Huh?
Did you watch Man City against Brentford?
When I came back home, I did. Yeah,
Did you watch the first half an hour?
yeah, I did watch first half and I watched second half.
You watched the first half an hour, and you said what you just said. You couldn't have watched the first half an hour of that game, obviously, because Brentford played Manchester City
They were in the
off the
league.
park. The first 25 minutes, they played them off the park. They should have been 2 or 3-0 up in that game. They missed big chances, and Man City have got a guy called Erden Haaland who can make a difference. If Erden Haaland wasn't in that side, Brentford would have come away with the 3 points. Brentford were the better team throughout that game and deserved the points. Yeah, yesterday we didn't play well, but you know what? We got the 3 points. And last year, how many times did we play well but didn't get the points that we wanted? We dug this one out. Okay, we were a bit lucky with some, but we did defend well. Colwell was superb, I thought, at the back. We didn't have a proper midfield due to the injuries to Lavia and the illness of Dewsbury Hall and and also Enzo Fernandez. So we played Vega in midfield. He looked lost in this game. He's just coming. He's coming as a left back really. So I don't think expected to start the games as a defensive midfielder. My thing is that we should have kept one of either Okuchukwu or Andre Santos, because I think we are short in that department, because Lavia can't be trusted to stay fit throughout the season. Cole Palmer didn't look like he was fully fit. And again, I don't think Neto's fully fit neither. He started well, but he faded pretty quickly. But in the second half, when Maresca made those substitutions, we looked better. When Sancho came on, we looked better. I thought he should have brought on Nkunku a little bit earlier, if because I agree with you on Jackson. He just hasn't got that cutting edge, that killer instinct in the box. I doubt he would have scored that chance that Nkunku scored. Yeah, and when you say that it's you also said about these players have been here together for a while, but if we keep chopping and changing managers, that's what you're going to get as well. You've got to remember that they're getting used to a new system, a new way of playing. These guys were just getting used to the way that Poch wanted to play towards the end of the season. You could see that when results picked up, but they got a new manager now. As I said, different way of playing. He's got his different tactics that he wants to get across to the players, and it's not going to happen overnight because you're using Man City as a barometer. Pep's first season at Man City, they just about scraped into the top four. And if you're looking at people like Arteta when he was
Oh,
at Arsenal,
I'm sorry. Oh,
No,
Max,
no, no,
Max,
Dan,
sorry.
let him land.
I know. Yeah,
Dan,
wait,
let
wait,
him
Max.
land.
Let me just say.
yeah,
Let me just say
talk,
the prepare. Oh, sorry. Let me just say. I'll say we was poor, but we was fragile.
You
First
said
half
we
to
were
see the
very, very
second
poor.
half, we was but we was very
Hey, by the
fragile.
way, I'm signing off in 4 minutes, okay?
do you want to come
Go,
in
go
and
ahead,
I'll
go ahead.
take this up afterwards? Do you want to say something, Quentin?
Yeah.
You come
Uh
in first, and we'll conclude this conversation afterwards. That's fine.
okay, yeah, because my phone is starting to get hot. So, anyways, so, everything I just wanted to say tonight, I don't even feel like saying anymore. Niz, if you want to contact me at any time, you can just email a phantom of many topics at gmail.com. Okay, thank you. Good night.
Let's go, Max. Dan and
Yeah.
Max.
Huh? What was that about?
Yeah. So, what were you saying? The points that I was trying. What are you saying again, Dan? I was going to answer your question.
Like I say to my because me and you are brothers, we speak all the time, Max. Yeah, you came on my show, we always speak with me and you, Nick. I've like with Jackson, yeah, with that Nick Nkunku's chance wouldn't score, but the situation was fragile. The first half to the second, because I was at the game, right? And the way
No.
I saw the
Yeah. No.
first.
You were going to say something about. Remember, I mentioned about Pep Guardiola. His first season at Man City. I think you were going to say something with regards to that.
Yeah, I was going to say so because you're talking about Pep Guardiola, yeah, that first season against Man City, right? He didn't have his own players in that team, right? And the to this year, he got rid of a lot of players in that first when he first was with that team, and brought in his main star players what he wanted, and that's why they played. That's why they play football. And the Brentford game, yes, the first hour and a half, yeah, I watched it. Brentford was all over them, but still, no matter what, after that, Man City destroyed the position, destroyed the how they played the thing, and got the goals for Amelia Heller. People could like,
Yeah,
I
but
understand what you're
Brentford
saying,
still
Max, but
deserved to win. Brentford deserved to win that game over the 90
no,
minutes.
not really,
Yeah, they
because
did. Yes,
they
they did. If
didn't.
it
No,
wasn't
they
because of
didn't.
Haaland, if it wasn't because
Like,
of Haaland,
but
they
then
would
they
never
could
have
say
won the
if it
game.
wasn't because Ivan Tony wasn't there, they could have got the goals for Ivan Tony. No, it's just Max. Like the situation with Brentford, right? They have players consistently playing, yeah, a style where they've had that Brentford manager since the Championship, correct? And he
Yeah,
knows the players, the system. They know the system of his uh, formation, like Pep Guardiola has, yeah. And Pep Guardiola, right? He's like had to do a lot of changes this season where he's got rid of Alvarez, a lot of like other players that he sold, but the consistency, he still had the same players where the producing of it all that he knew that understood how to the format to get the winning goals. With us at Bournemouth, we was poor and since the first. We should have been at least about four
But
or
you just
5-0
answered your
down.
own question. You just answered your own question. You said
No, no,
Frank.
no. But I didn't make
No,
no.
but you
But I
said
didn't make my
Frank
own
had
question,
been there
Max.
for ages, which is true.
Yeah,
You said Pep
yeah.
took a whole season to see what players he can work with and what players he couldn't work with. This guy's had 4 games. This
Yeah,
guy's had
but yeah,
4 games in charge.
Max, I
So
know
do you
you said
expect
yeah,
it to
but
all come together in 4 games?
all right, well,
Come on.
right, Max. He's been working with Pep Guardiola at Man City and won the
Not
Premier
with
League, the
Chelsea players
Champions
though.
League.
But not with Chelsea players. I don't see how that's
No,
relevant.
but he's no matter what, he's still a good. If people saying he's still a good manager, right? If he's a good
Yeah,
manager or
Pep's the
not, he's
best, but
won
he
the
still
Champions League,
took the
right? He
season to
won the
get Manchester United
Championship. He won.
competitive.
Yeah, no, no man, what? No, what I'm trying to say, like the situation. If you're a manager who wins Premier League, Champions League with Pep Guardiola, you win the Championship with Leicester, and the team got adapt for last season. Like, we still had the same players. If Enzo Fernandez was in that team, it wouldn't have made any difference because the situation we still had the same team, part for what one or two players in there. Yeah, since Sancho came on in the second half and
Yeah,
Pedro
we've got a
Neto,
different manager then. Same players,
right?
but
That's
different
what.
manager.
Yeah, nah, but it's not. Well, you might have a different. But you
All right.
played as a team last season, so you should know how to play a team.
No,
Apart
but
from
it's a
two
different
players.
manager with different style and
No,
different
no,
tactics. So you can't say
no.
they played as a team last season. It was a different manager
Oh
with
man,
different.
I was at the game, right? I was at the game at Bournemouth game, right? And all the Chelsea fans, I was there, were moaning how the game, the performance, and how shocking. Yeah, well, yeah. Disaster should have been right back. I agree on everyone can say that, but it was like when you look at the atmosphere, yeah, right, the fans were booing, were moaning because we just we couldn't hold hold the ball. We could like every time we got the ball, we would just like boo it up there.
Yeah, I'm not
Like the first
disagreeing with you. The
when the
performance
kickoff.
wasn't the
All right,
best.
Dan.
Yeah, we know the performance wasn't the best. I'm not
Let me,
disagreeing with
guys.
you there.
Let me jump in real quick. Dan, whenever you come on to discuss this, I always tell you that it looks like you don't see the bigger picture, and always the bigger picture is right there, but you overlook at it. When we started, we said Chelsea usually have problems, and it's not just Chelsea. Lots of Premier League teams have problems playing game after international break. And one thing you don't consider is the number of players that have been called on international duty. Chelsea always will give out almost about and 75% of their team away in each international break. The midfield, the Caicedo, the Enzo Fernandez, the attack, Nicholas Jackson, Nicholas Jackson and Nkunku and all these players. Whenever international break comes, these top teams, gives away a lot of players out of the team. So fatigue always played in. Fatigue plays a lot of role in how they perform right after international break. That is why Manchester City struggled. Brentford should have won that game because I watched the whole first half. I watched up to 80 minutes of the game before Helen started banging and go. I was like, okay, it's over.
So what's the Man United excuse then, Nick? What's the Man United excuse?
Don't interrupt. Can I finish? Man United were lucky. If you're talking about Manchester United, they were very, very lucky. They were supposed to go down. They were supposed to concede almost about 3 goals. But the team they were playing against don't have good prolific strikers to finish the arena. That is why United came in with a goal from the Dutch defender. Then others started scoring goals. But United were very poor. If you want to be honest with you, I watched that game. I watched 3 games on Saturday. United were very, very poor on that day. So they were lucky to get all the 3 points and score many goals. But they were very bad. The team that they played against were better than them. But they got a chance because they have Premier League experience. And also, let me tell you this. Manchester City, where they are in terms of development, is way ahead than Chelsea. They've had manager for 5 to 6 years. The same manager. So the understanding of how they play is already there. Chelsea doesn't have it. A new style of play has been implemented this season. And the juggling between Enzo Maresca still, I would say, he doesn't even know he started main 11 yet.
Okay, Nick. So whose fault is it? Whose fault is that brings the manager in at Chelsea Football Club?
It's not the manager.
It's the owners. It's the owners,
it's not
isn't it?
honest, and it's not honest.
Of course it is. Because
How,
they've changed
is it
managers.
honest?
How many managers? Look how many managers we've had
No, I'm
since
not talking
coming
about
in.
the manager. I'm
But
talking
if they're
about the
not
game.
getting
No,
the
no, but
results,
no,
then they don't deserve the job.
We're talking about the
but
result. The
Stephen,
game.
no, Pochettino had great results last season, finished sixth, yeah, and he should have the chance for this season. If they kept Pochettino, we probably had a better style where he could have got because he got used to the team playing, and that's why we finished it. And if you're talking about Pep Guardiola staying at Man City for 6 years.
But
If he
you're
was,
talking about a manager.
if
But you're talking
I,
about a manager who was at the football
I,
club for a whole season. He
I,
only
8 years,
started
8 years.
understanding these players 6 games to go. 6 games to go before he started winning games.
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
Let me live with. I'm trying to say to you this, right? Yeah, you could have managed like if Pep was doing so bad, Man City will still have kept him, right?
Dan,
Because
Dan,
they'll back him.
Dan,
They'll
wrap it up
back
with
him.
that so we can move on
Yeah,
with
no,
the other
but I'm
aspect
trying to
of it.
say, yeah,
Wrap
no,
it up.
but no, the true facts this year, as a manager gets, if a manager like Pep Guardiola, yeah, look at Ten Hag, look how crap he was last season at Man United. They still backed him now. Look where he is now. He's at Man
He's
United
still
still.
crap. He's still
Did,
crap.
did
Yeah,
they
yeah,
back
yeah.
They
Pellegrini
have
Right,
no
when he won
choice.
the
right.
league?
But they backed him. They backed him
They
to
didn't
play
back
what he wanted.
Pellegrini when he won the league, though, did he? They didn't back
Yeah,
Mancini.
you know, no matter, but no, Mancini had an argument, right, Max, of something occurring, and he walked out the job because the situation, what happened with that and Pellegrini, that's exactly the same, right? But the
What
thing is,
situation?
right,
What situation? What situation
as
happened?
our owners, we don't back managers. We give the
No, what
managers the
situation
chance to
happened
do
with
so.
Pellegrini after
We
winning
back
the
them
Premier
if
League with your
they
side?
have the performances and the results.
Yeah, no, but yeah, they don't back the player. With Pep Guardiola, look, with Pep Guardiola, if he had a bad performance at Man City, they'll still back him. The
He's
Pellegrini
an
and the
elite
Man
group
City,
manager. That's the
right?
difference,
But
bro.
Pellegrini, no, it's not
If
different, Steve. Like
I'll tell you what,
Pellegrini.
If Pep Guardiola finished outside the top four, two seasons in a row, do you think he'll still be Man City manager? I don't
Of
think
course
so.
he would.
No,
Yeah, he
he
would.
wouldn't. No, he would not.
Yeah, he
No, he
would,
wouldn't.
Baz. Yeah, he would
He would not.
because the owners will know how to
No,
back him
he
to bring in more
wouldn't.
better star
He
players.
wouldn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
but
would, mate.
he's obviously he's back when
Look at
he.
Barcelona. Look when he was at Barcelona when he the last
That's
two
doing
seasons
yeah. That's doing yeah.
right when Jose Mourinho should go to Real Madrid, right? He did win nothing the last two seasons with Real
But we're
Madrid.
talking
Did they
about
sack him?
Barcelona. We're not talking about Man
Yeah, no,
City.
but that's not
Man
no, but it's
City.
no, but Max,
Man,
it's exactly the same thing, mate.
I
It's
tell
like
you what,
even he
Man
was at
City
Barcelona and then
would
they
be
sacked him, they still
ruthless.
backed
Okay,
him.
look at Roman Abramovich. Okay, and with Jose Mourinho, right? Jose Mourinho did well for us, but when results weren't going well, he left. Roman Abramovich got rid of him.
Yeah, but he was with us for 2 years. These managers do sack every year, sack managers every year. These
Because
owners,
they're
what
not
we've
getting
got,
the
sack
results
managers
that
every year.
they expect of them.
Yeah, but then Steve, then you have to understand this. You're never going to get the results if you don't try and back the manager for the first year to
Let me
play for the
say this,
second
Dan.
year.
It
You're
all
making it
Because
depends,
sound
look
like
though,
at Ants,
Roman is not doing
look at
nothing.
Ants in it. But
listen,
Nate,
if
what I'm trying to say to you,
if
look at Ants.
but if Potter had finished in the top six, he would still be in a job. Trust me, he'll still be in a job if he finished top six.
To
The
be fair, he did
reason
fix
that
it.
the reason he left was because of the position that we were as a club, and they didn't want to sack him. Look how long it took them to sack him. They were holding on to see whether results would pick up. Yeah, and so I tell you what, if Pep had finished seventh or eighth, he's not going to be in Manchester City, and that's a fact. For 2 seasons, and he won't be there.
All right. Well said, Dan. Well said. I don't know, but Dan sometimes I don't. He will always. I understand where you stand, Dan. I know you don't like these owners, but when they're doing the right thing, we have to praise them. You're making it sound like these owners are doing something that Roman Abramovich did not do. Can you imagine that Carlo Ancelotti
Got
placed
sacked for
second?
finishing second in the tunnel at
Second.
Everton.
How disgraceful is that? A Champions League winner, back-to-back Champions League winner. Roman Abramovich sacked him in the Everton tunnel. Did not even
Me,
let him
that
stand for a
might be
break.
one of the
And that's
biggest
why he was getting
mistakes
sacked.
Roman ever made, for the record.
Yeah, that was for me. I can understand that one.
Bro, you know
Yeah, I
if
didn't understand that one.
yeah,
I
who
didn't
knows
understand that one.
what was that?
Phantom of
I'm
Minnesota.
saying as Carlo Ancelotti, I didn't understand that one. Why they sacked him in the 50th second.
Bro, if if he's getting sacked for second, yeah, like, bro, that's mad. But the other thing is, bro, imagine what we could have potentially done if we kept Carlo, man. Like, genuinely, this guy is a proven elite manager, yeah? We could have, I'm not saying it would have happened, don't get me wrong, yeah? We could have been that generation's version of what this Man City is, where you just dominate the league, yeah? We could have got multiple Champions Leagues potentially as well, because he is that standard of manager. He would have got us there, right?
And plus, if we had backed him with Pirlo as well, because he wanted Pirlo, if we had backed him with Pirlo and kept him for 4 or 5 seasons, not only to Premier Leagues, I think we'd have won about 2 more Champions
Bro,
Leagues.
imagine Pirlo and Lampard in midfield.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that Pirlo. I remember that we wanted that Pirlo. It would have been really good for him and Lampard in midfield. I remember that. But Pirlo didn't want. There was a structure of Pirlo, so that's why he went to the other club with his friends. That's why we didn't get him.
All right, so we're gonna move on from that Manchester City situation and Chelsea situation. It's two different situations at this moment. Dan have said a whole lot of things. The amount of money Chelsea have spent. I've explained to you many times that the figures out there, it's not what it is. Not all this, the money that has been spent on these players, not all of them are with the team. Some of them are away from the team, and the media are trying to put all these together. Spend 1 billion on players. The players are not in the football club. A few of them are with the football club. Some are on loan.
Some of them
So
have been
not
sold, some of
everyone
them
is
have
in the
been
football
loaned.
club.
Like,
I've explained this to you many times, but you still don't get it. You always want to use that because you don't like the owners. You're making it.
No, but there was
No,
someone on
let me
loan. You're
land.
right,
Let me
Lee.
land.
There
You
was only
stand there.
two
You stand
players
your
who was
ground.
on loan. Two
If I
players
give
on
you a
loan.
chance, you're not gonna you still
No,
gonna
no,
be
the
where you
two
are. I'm not
biggest myths at
expecting you to change your
Chelsea.
mind.
The 2 biggest myths at Chelsea is the £1 billion spent. Okay, they did spend a lot of money, but as Nee quite rightly said, a lot of those players were bought for the future or bought for profit to flip. And the 40 people in the dressing, it was embarrassing on Sky the other day where this woman said that there was 40 people in the dressing room. We haven't got 40 people in our dressing room. He's got a squad of 24 and with some youth players. But
bro, due to
one person's run
registration
through
rules, you can't
something.
even have more than
Stephen, let
30.
Max end. Steve, let Max end. Okay, I mean,
No,
that
I
you
said
got
one person
interact.
goes with this narrative and then everyone just carries it on. But people don't do their own work. They just listen to somebody and it's just like an echo chamber. That's what I'm saying. People need to do their homework. That squad that they put out where we had 44, 45 players, I could do that for any club in the Premier League. I can throw in Arsenal's reserve team players, which they did with us. All the 8 keepers that they mentioned for us, 4 of them were reserve team goalkeepers. You'll never see the light of day at Chelsea.
Yeah, there
So,
was.
so let's just throw in
Don't please.
Arsenal's youth team or Liverpool's youth team and say that that's their squad. So people just need to just forget the noise because Chelsea are a team who are an easy target for a lot of people now. It's when other opponents do it and the press, that's fine. But when it's our own doing it as well, then just adding fuel to the fire. When we need to be sticking together here and be a bit more supportive.
Absolutely, thank you very much. But guys, let's focus on the main game itself. Big up to Phantom of Mini Topic. Phantom, I don't know what's wrong with you, Phantom of Mini Topic. I don't know. I explained to you as soon as we started the show. You want me to send a link there, and let me explain again. Maybe you didn't understand me. I understand where you're coming from. Before this show started, you said I should send a link. Phantom, I explained to you that we don't do that. You don't send a link right there when you start the show because what it does is it interacts the content, the flow of the content, because we want to start the content a little bit, and then we put a link there for everyone to come on. If you are on X or if I have you on any other platform, it's easy to start the show with you. Let's say if I have Mo or Max who will be joining me on the show today, what I do is I contact them and I send a link to them, so they will be in the studio with me as the show begins. And then later on, if we're done and we've wrapped up, we want to hear from the fans, the viewers, voice or viewers' opinion, then we send a link, we pin it for everyone to click on. You get what I mean? There's no other way I can reach out to you on social. I need social media platform. I can't get a hold of you anyway. So I could not send a link in there when the show starts. I can only do it a few minutes after, like half an hour after, as we've gone through the topics of the day. You get what I'm saying? But Phantom, I know you're joking, but how do you quit? How do you quit my show with a $10 super chat? $10 super chat. You can do that, Phantom. I know you're joking, but come on, come again, Phantom. The email address is not. It's going to be difficult for me, Phantom. When I sometimes before I start with the stream, I've already been here for 5 hours before finishing thumbnail, finishing all the necessary, BS before I put the content together. It takes time. Ask Max will tell you. Max will tell you, even editing video. I'm not even editing, but making sure you get the right thing to go with your stream to get people watching. It's not easy. And you have to be creative. Creating
It's a
content.
hard
It's
job.
not easy.
Mm.
So
Bro,
You
sometimes
gotta be
it's
fair.
midday UK time, so that's 5 hours before we start streaming.
100%.
right.
And also, Phantom, yeah, you put in a message to me that you're 115 minutes doing something, and I'll be back. And you should let
Right.
Dan go. And then Dan. So I don't know what the problem is. As when you do you like see me. I didn't say to me, "I'll send me a link straight away," because he was doing topics with Stephen before. After he does the topic, he said he will send the link out after when I do my topics, and that's what he did. And I waited for his topics until when he sent the link out. You can't disrespect. If you got contact with me and had him sending you the link, he could have sent you the link and you could have joined. And then when they started the show, you lot could have talked together. But when you're saying you're going away for 115 minutes and you're going away from the thing, how does he know that you're gonna you can't react to that, mate? I don't know what the problem was. He hasn't done nothing. He ain't done nothing bad. He explained to you about 5 times. It's any day, mate. Once the link comes, just come and join the link and join the show and enjoy yourself instead of being all moody and all this silliness. Because it doesn't happen like that, me.
It's all
You
right.
explain to you explain to yourself 5 times now what in the show. You don't need to keep in explaining yourself, mate.
And Phantom, he also had many topics to discuss. Sorry.
It's
Try to
very, very
lighten the
interesting.
mood.
There's still a lot to talk about and talk about over here. Big up to Mo, my big brother. He says, not fan of Maraska, but it's way, 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 way too early to judge him. Which I do agree with you. And Dan, you have to agree. See, and Mo himself also content creator is telling you have to, just give them time. Give them time. He said he would jump on. Big up to AJ. AJ said, big up, lads. Big up to you, my brother. I hope you're doing very well. Max, let's go to Max. Dan, get yourself ready. Let's go to Max. I've had Steven's point already.
Yeah,
Max,
need go
please,
to them
where
for
do you
like
stand?
10 minutes or so.
Oh, Steven, you want to jump in?
Huh? No, I'm saying go to them for like 10 minutes or so because we were speaking for half hour, 45 minutes. Give them their time. Let them get their points and maybe have a debate or something.
Thank you very much, Steven. We start from Max. Max, please, where do you stand on the striking ability? We have time we've given Nicholas Jackson so many times to get better and get better. But it looks like if we want to rest or give Nicholas Jackson that much time each and every game, it might end up costing us the top 4. Do we start in Nkunku and bring Jackson in 30 minutes to go or 25 minutes to go? Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, he was a winger, wasn't he, before he became a striker? And it shows his striking ability isn't the best. And that's why I wanted us to bring in someone like Osterman or somebody else because he's still quite young. I'm not going to say he may come good. He's what 22, 23, but to lead the line at a club like Chelsea, I think it's a big ask for him. He's very raw still, and at Chelsea everything is sort of magnified. We don't. Against Palace, he had a chance to win the game. He snatched at shots and things like that. So I'll go back to someone like Erling Haaland. Yesterday, struggling against Brentford, they get someone like a Haaland can come. Even like Aston Villa had that with Ollie Watkins. The guy we wanted, who everyone said it was rubbish, showed you what striking the ball was all about. John Duran. That was
What a
that
goal.
was Yeah, that was a good hit. But yeah, Jackson for me still, and not only that, it's not only his finishing. I think his anticipation as well isn't great. There was a pull. I'm not sure if you guys picked up on it. There was like a pullback by Jadon Sancho in the second half, and he went rather than sort of just holding his run first of all, because obviously you knew that Sancho was going to do a pullback. He went ahead of the ball. So first of all, it looked like it was just. Mistimed, but I mean, sorry, so the ball just went past him. But I think had he been a bit more um, clever and switched on, he could have held his ground. And when the ball came across, then he could have started running towards the ball to try and get a good strike on it. The goal scored by Nkunku, I couldn't see Jackson scoring that goal. You know, he's going to either blast it over or do it, or not even get into that situation. Nkunku as a striker. It could work, but I'm not. I'm still not sure about it all the time. We did try that in pre-season. He's still got to improve his as a strike. You know, obviously he's a best finisher at the club, I think. But his movement, I think, when he's playing up front, still needs a bit of improvement as well. So that to me, it's a funny one with him because he's the way that we play. He's not an out and out winger, I wouldn't say. I say he's more of a 10 or a second striker. But for now, I would use him as an out and out striker because I just feel that we create a lot of chances. He's good in the air as well for his height. He's got the strength. He's got the finishing ability. And I think if it's an option between him and Nicholas Jackson, then I'll be saying Nkunku to as a number 9 for me at the moment.
Thank you very much. Dan, anything from you regarding that role?
Yeah, true. I'm the thing with what Max said. Right, I agree, but then there's no other potential false nine to play out there unless you have Joe Felix. What we saw, when he came out on loan at Chelsea 2 seasons ago, when he was up top, where he had them chances against Real Madrid where he could finish. And Nicholas Jackson's not a clinical finisher. Like, he's not actually a striker. We all said this for long. Before we signed Jackson, yeah, he was a potential left winger, and we was meant to get at the time Flanovic or some other striker that season. But because we didn't get that striker that season, and we've got Jackson, he's still young. He's still young. He's progressing on the finishing like where what Max was saying from that shot yesterday. Yeah, I said where he was in that one-on-one position when he just shot out the goalkeeper. Like another player like Watkins or someone, Ivan Tony would have probably had that touch, little turn, and have probably gone in. So that's just. I mean, with Nicholas Jackson, he's a frustrating thing because we have seen him score some like goals. And where you saw Sancho to Nkunku when he did them 3 players and put the winning goal, Jackson will not do that. The thing with Jackson, if he had that chance, what Nkunku did, the ball he would have got tangled, the ball, or he would have probably kicked it wide, or he would have probably got a bit nervous because he's still young. My situation, let's play Jackson, right? Because we don't really want Nkunku. Because last season he was a far injury. A lot of games he played, he was out of injury, like most games last season. And we know he could pick up like really bad injuries when he was at RP Leipzig, and then he was like since last season.
Dan, what would you do as a manager? Who would you?
As a manager, with me as a manager, I would keep Jackson on and just let Nkunku come on to this onto the sub bench for a bit. Then after, or if not, yeah, give the Mark Goai from Barcelona a chance because like the way we've seen him in pre-season, how he contracts the ball up and pushes the ball and he's hold the ball. Like, why don't you give Mark good? But if it was me, yes, I would have Nkunku playing over Jackson, but we don't want to overdo Nkunku because the way since last season, it's like with Wesley Fofana and Lavia. We don't really want to overdo Nkunku. Depends if he's proper fit and he's not the injuries from last season. If he could carry on playing them games every single game, not get injured. That's the only problem. But for me, I would probably just keep Jack. Yes, it's frustrating. Keep Jackson as a striker or play Mark Gui there
Okay.
and have Jackson play on the wing or something like so. Or like, this is a hard one because Jackson is not ain't critical finisher. But yeah, I'll just keep Jackson up front. Just like and let's have Nkunku. But I would have Nkunku. I would love to have Nkunku start, but it ain't gonna happen because he's injured. But Jackson, I'll keep him as a thing. Just let him do the free roll in the first half, and if it doesn't happen, then change it up in the second half. But not last 10 minutes of the game. Asa Masker should give Nkunku before like 20 or 30 minutes in the game. See, when we saw it yesterday against Bournemouth, he waited so long later in the game to put him on. If Jackson's not going to do that, yeah, just like in the 50th minute, put Nkunku with Sancho on straight after. That's my opportunity.
Thank you very much,
I
Dan.
wouldn't put
We
Mark
have a
Guehi.
oh,
Sorry, I
go
wouldn't
ahead,
put
man.
Mark Guehi yet. If you think Jackson's raw, Guehi's even rawer than Jackson.
Yeah.
He's good at closing down and pressing. That's it. But when it comes to finishing, he snatches at it more than Jackson. So I wouldn't. If
What do you
it's
think?
either
What do
if
you
it's
think
not
about?
Jackson, it's going to be Nkunku. I know what you're saying about the injuries and everything else. So I get that, but Guehi I think's not ready neither for to start games.
No, why sign him then, Max? Why sign him if he ain't gonna? Because last I saw him play against Barcelona half
Yeah, he's
one,
probably going to
and he
play
did
in
well.
the Conference League or whatever, but for the
Dan, you
Premier
should.
League, I don't think he's ready yet.
Yeah, Dan, you should
Comes
understand.
off
It's
playing
not
10,
just
15 minutes here and there, but I don't think he's ready to start.
right, right. It's not just bringing in just the players. They're also doing business. We all know they're gonna flip some of these players. Why do you think Barcelona will sell a prolific striker if they think that this guy is going to be that great? Do you think they'll sell him to Chelsea? No, they'll keep him. But anyway, we have more in the studio with us here. Big up to you. The man is patiently waiting for his time. Mo, welcome back to the show. But before you say anything, how are you and how is the family? Sir?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for having me on. I'm
Pleasure.
good. Had a slight injury recently, but I'm okay. I'm recovering. Yeah, everything's good. How are you? How you doing?
Not good. If you, I don't know if you can hear me very well. I sound from my nose. I've got colds, flu, and then a little fever. It's just the kids. As soon as they start going to school, they bring so much germs to the house, and once one gets sick, and they just spreading all over the house. I was very shivering Sunday, and I couldn't do much. But today I was
It's
like, man, I got to do something. So I'm
And you've
taking
got a
really
lot of
for
people in
my
your
immune.
house as well, so it'll go
Yeah,
through the whole house at least once.
yeah, yeah.
it's the
Oh,
time
No,
of the year, brother.
he's eating too much waffles. That's what it is. That's what's made him ill.
Um, Dan. To be honest, I think you've been eating too much waffles, man. I've been listening for the past 20 minutes, and I think you've been eating too much waffles.
I speak facts, mate. I speak facts. I don't speak nonsense on this show, mate. That's the
there
thing.
you go.
When it comes to Chelsea Football Club, I speak facts about them. The thing is, they're clinical enough. It needs more better.
No, I'm just pulling your leg, mate. No,
Yeah,
I
nice
mean,
to see you, Mo. Long time. Oh, you're well.
It's nice to
is,
see you,
is,
Mo. Anyway, big up, Mo.
It's Max.
is that Max Burton by any chance?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah, yeah,
All right, big up to you, Max. Good to see you,
yeah. Hope
brother.
you're well. Yeah,
How's the family? How's everyone?
yeah. Well, we're all good, thanks. We're all good. We're all good.
Please, please pass my regards to the family, brother. Please
I will
pass
do.
my,
Yeah,
especially
likewise.
to the boys, especially to the boys.
Yeah. All right. Will do.
Thank you. And so in regards to the whole striker situation, regarding Nkunku and Nicholas Jackson, um, me personally, I mean, I may disagree with some of you guys because I think Nkunku has shown that he is a more clinical finisher than Nicholas Jackson. I think Nkunku is not an out and out striker, but I think Nicholas Jackson is also not an out and out striker. I think we are using him in that role. We are pushing him to be that out and out striker. And to be fair to Nicholas Jackson, he's done well. I mean, his first season, I'm not disappointed in what he's achieved. I think he did all right last season. Does he have a lot of work to do? 100%. He has a lot of work to do. He's got to improve his finishing. He's got to improve his timing. He's got to improve his runs. But could he do that? I think he can. With more experience, with more time, I think he can do it. But at the same time, I also think Nkunku can be utilized as a false nine and maybe even as a out and out striker. I believe that we should give Nicholas Jackson a little bit of competition, and I think Nkunku being given more game time as a striker might be a good way to do that. We have got a plethora of players who can play in that 10 position, both centrally and on the wings. And I think if we are able to take some of that pressure from the manager of having to, add Nkunku in that role and maybe put him forward and have him compete with Nicholas Jackson for the striker position, I think we could, see something happen there, and especially with the creative players that we have now. Sancho, Felix, they have a lot of creativity. Pedro Neto, can fall in that category as well. And I think they can link up well with a player like Nkunku. Nkunku does think outside the box, and when I say outside the box, I don't mean the literal box in the game. I'm thinking, the way he approaches his decision making. So maybe he can link up better with the likes of Felix,
Or
the
the
likes
bigger
of
picture, or looking at the bigger picture.
yeah, yeah, and even the decision makings. I mean, one of the things that I really liked about Sancho in the last game is, he wasn't one dimensional in his approach. We see Mudryk, we see Sterling. They do the same thing, game after game after game. While as Sancho in one game, he showed multiple different approaches to his attack. And for me and for a lot of people that I've spoken to, we saw a certain bit of Eden Hazard esque performance there, because Eden Hazard was always doing things differently. Was always having a different approach to his attacking play, and we saw that from Sancho the other night. So I think there are players in the team that can provide a good creative outlet for an Nkunku. I think maybe Nicholas Jackson, needs to take a step back a little bit and feel that little bit of pressure from having competition for the striker role. I don't think Mark Gui is quite there yet. He has a lot to prove and a lot to do before he can be given ownership of those bigger games and those important games. And as it stands right now, every game in the Premier League is a big game and is an important game, because we do need to get off to a good start. And to be fair, we've not had a bad start so far. Could have been a lot different against Bournemouth, but I'm happy that we got that result. I'm happy that Sanchez put in a fantastic show. We criticize Sanchez week in, week out, but that performance, those saves that he's made in that last game, he did really well. So I'm happy with him. But that's my 2 cents in regards to the striker situation. So just want to give it, and give you guys my opinion.
I can't. No. There was this shit about Sancho and Eddie and Hazard. You can't really compare Eddie and Hazard to Sancho. Yes, he did for 15 minutes of the game against Bournemouth, because I was at the game, yeah, Mo. I was actually there at Bournemouth Stadium, and I see Sancho with his abilities. There's a few things that he did good, and there's a few mistakes what he did. You can't compare him to Eddie and Hazard, because the situation with Sancho, yeah. Let's see how well. I'm not. He was excellent for us in the 45 minutes second half. He was excellent since Pedro Neto, because somehow Pedro Neto was a bit poor. I don't know if he got. We don't know why Neto got subbed off. Don't know if it was to do with an injury. But with Neto, he has to be fully fit. If Nkunku could adapt, yeah. We've seen Nkunku play in the false side, but with the Sancho situation, right, we have to see how well, because one game could be a good game, but the second game he might not do this same game, because every game's totally different atmosphere, different kind of a cat of a fish, basically. Like you could have one good game, you could have one bad game, you could have another game. We see like people like Man United, yeah, are getting sorry because I look at Man United, but we could see that Sancho is happy at Chelsea. But I just want him consistently every single game doing what he does, what he did for Bournemouth. If he doesn't do that, then we're in trouble. We are in trouble, like on that side of the ring, because like Pedro Neto, we thought when we bring him in, where we understood, yeah, where Sancho going to play. If Pedro Neto is there, where was Sancho going to play? But now we saw him play yesterday in his debut. He done well. It's just any the situation this year. It's just like we need to focus on whoever's like my situation. If it was me, Mo, I would have like Jackson. Yeah, Jackson's not a clinical finisher. We know he's not a striker. But if we like this, is what I've always said along. If we could bring in an experienced striker, there would be competition for Jackson because an experienced striker could actually help Jackson in the training in Coburn to learn him how to finish like these chances that he gets. And that's the only most frustrating about Nicholas Jackson. If these chances, what he gets in the box, like what we saw last season against Man City 1-1, yeah, if you can't see that, yeah, it's going to be wearing. That's why Nkunku knows how to finish. Yes, he's a false 9 and a 10. But Jackson has to learn from a proper build of an experienced striker to learn how to finish these chances. Because if he doesn't seem to score these goals this season, these chances, what he's getting, it's good. It's going to be frustrating for Chelsea Football Club. You know
And
what I mean?
So,
yeah, I think
sorry, just 1 second. Sorry, Max. I'm not comparing Sancho or Hazard to Sancho. That's not that's not a comparison I've made. I'm saying I saw elements that reminded me of Eden Hazard. The way that he was playing. I think Eden Hazard. Very few players will ever reach that level. Very few players will ever reach that style of play, that skill, that technical ability. But one thing Eden Hazard had, and he had in abundance, was the way that he attacked, the way that he thought about his positioning, his runs, his technical ability, and that is I saw elements of that with Jadon Sancho, which I hope he can improve on and develop on. And I agree with you 100% in regards to Nicholas Jackson needs to have that seasoned striker, that experienced striker, to be in the team to help him develop and to help him improve. And that's why I was hoping we would actually sign someone of that ilk to come in this transfer window. We didn't, and the lack of that is going to be a little bit of a problem. Nicholas Jackson, right now, he is our main striker, and he is the one who is going to be tasked with scoring those goals without having that role model to look at. We saw the effect of Thiago Silva on our back line and how he improved our defense. Even when he wasn't playing, you saw some of the things that he would do would be reflected in the team. So I agree with you. We do need to have that competition, and this is why I'm thinking about since we don't have that other striker, maybe Nkunku can step in and provide that competition for Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah, I'm just going to agree with what you were saying, Mo, about Jadon Sancho, sorry, his unpredictability, which made him so good, and his passing between the lines as well. And with our wingers, it's like head down, touchline, and then aimless crosses into the middle. He wasn't doing that. He was always picking out a man with his crossing. And what he does offer us as well, because you've got Cole Palmer on the one side, him on the other side. Now, if you're double marking Cole Palmer, he gives us a threat on the other side. And from what Dan was saying, I think what you said about Neto is not really. When you look at him when he played for Wolves, he played down the right for Wolves. Primarily, he was a right winger rather than a left winger. And so, for me, his competition will be on the other side with Madueke, where I think if he played on the right, I think we'll get more out of him on the right than we would on the left.
Right. There is a lot going on. Where do you guys stand in terms of how Enzo Maresca described Jadon Sancho? That a player that he really knows so much, and he said that Jadon Sancho needs love and he needs some kind of what I say, uh, you know, tender loving care (TLC) at Chelsea Football Club. Do you think that he wasn't getting those? He wasn't getting that when he was with Manchester United, or would you blame that Eric Ten Hag or Manchester United was the problem why Jadon Sancho did not perform well at Manchester United?
Yeah, let me take that one first. Is with managerial, when you're a manager, you heard that you obviously got the stick, you got the carrot. So some players respond better to the stick, some players respond better to the carrot. So there's some players who like the arm around the shoulder. Tough love isn't for everyone. Tough love was for people like your John Terry, your Frank Lampards, your Didier Drogba's. You can take that sort of criticism. I remember Jose Mourinho tried that on Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and it didn't work. It backfired because it destroyed his confidence. So it's all about getting to know your players and getting to know how your players respond in certain situations. I think what Ten Hag was trying to do at Manchester United, he was trying to rule with that iron fist, and so it doesn't. As I said, it rubbed some people that up the wrong way, and you know Sancho, he's quite as sensitive by all means. You know, if you look at his managers, he had Rose, I think it was, with Dortmund and people like that. They were people who gave him that trust, made him. They said to him, "Look, you go out, you do your thing. We believe in you," and that gave him his confidence. So I think so. He's already come out and said it himself that Maresca has already given him that belief in himself as well. And I do think the other thing is that he's come back to London because some players, if you don't settle in a different environment, look at Will Sahar, for instance, when he was at Manchester United, same thing, got destroyed there, came back to Palace, and he was the player that Manchester United had bought when he was previously at Palace. Sometimes when you're in your own surroundings, with your own play, with your family as well around you, then that can have an influence as well. Because with Sancho, actually, I know my neighbour. They know his parents quite well, and they said that he was very depressed at Manchester United. He was stopped coming to events that they put on and all sorts. But now that he's come back, they can just see a change in his personality. And so, if you're happy, then you're going to give your best performances. So I think he's found his home at Chelsea, and it was good to see that the fans were singing his name as well in that second half. So I think that's going to do his confidence a world of good. But with anything, I'm just looking for consistency now. He started well, so I just want to see him keep up those performances.
I agree 100%. Jadon Sancho coming back to London, playing for a team that he supports, a team that he loves, and I know every fan of every club is going to say this about a player joining joining the team. But Jadon Sancho said this himself. He said it when he joined the club, and he said it before he joined the club. He's spoken about his connection with Chelsea many times in the past. So for him to be here, it's going to be something that he definitely would want to enjoy and want to achieve at Chelsea. Also, the relationship that he had with Ten Hag and the relationship that he had with Manchester United. You don't have to look at Sancho, but look at the Man United fan base and listen to what they are saying. How disappointed they are to see him leave, especially after that 45 minutes performance that he showed at Chelsea. We've seen Sancho put in some great performances for Borussia Dortmund, and a lot of people said that he can't do that in the Premier League. He can, and he has, and he will. And does he require more care, more attention? I don't think so. I think if he is given the game time, that is all the attention that he needs. He's a man. He's a professional. I think as long as he's given that game time and given that respect when he performs, I don't think we need to do any more than that. And as Max said, the fans showed him the love when he stepped out on that pitch and he performed the way he did, and more of that is is the recipe for success for Jadon Sancho. So as long as he puts in that performance, I don't think we'll have any problems motivating him.
The
Thank you very
thing
much.
with Sancho, the thing with Sancho, Nee, right?
Yeah.
It's with his boys and all. He used to play for Man City with Cole Palmer when they won the Premier League. The young players like Cole Palmer, I think it was Nuni Madueke. Not Nuni. Who's the other player who got? He used to play for Man City. He's got
Tosin.
That's it, Tosin. He's got his boys that he knows at Chelsea Football Club that he used to play for. With Jadon Sancho, right, with Ten Hag, the minutes what Man United, this is what I love about Man United fans, yeah, they're piping up, he had less minutes like with Mason Mount, right? But the thing is, where we showed the stats, yeah, he didn't really play every minute. He wasn't happy at United. Man United fans are always saying, he's crap and this, and he wasn't happy. He weren't really settled at United. When Ten Hag did with the thing with Sancho, basically it was their best. Sancho was actually their best player because on stats, yeah, he had more minutes and more assists and goal chance than any of their players like Rashford and Anthony at Man United. So he's got a lot of getting sorted because the way that he saw Sancho against Bournemouth, yeah, in that 40 minute where he was playing like his football, loving his joy in that side. So why he's got his boys at Chelsea, and he's a Chelsea fan himself, right? And with Dortmund, you compare the German league to the Premier League. Yeah, it's not as much as critical in the Premier League, but this boy knows how to play the Premier League. We've seen him how he could adapt into the Premier League, how good he is. We saw when he was at Man United. He was one of the best players for Man United. There's stats about him, what he did for Man United. And now, because he's done it now, some of them, I've heard a lot of Man United fans are crying like bitches, insulting, because the way he saw Sancho last start against Bournemouth that night. And when I was there, we all chanted that Sancho, and he looked around and smiled because the atmosphere of Chelsea was bringing light to welcome him into Chelsea Football Club. Because we've wanted this boy since last season when we never got him. But now we've got him on loan. And I don't think it is. Well, I think it's an option to buy.
It's an obligation if we finish
obligation to buy.
And 25 mil as well.
25. I thought it was 23. I thought it was 23. Yeah, I thought it was 23 mil. I thought it was cheap. It's cheap. And all this Man United fans.
Just quick, right? The confusion comes because if Chelsea finish 14th, it gets triggered. But for every position higher, Chelsea pay more money. That's where the confusion came in.
Oh, okay. But then also they're still paying some of his wages at Chelsea.
We're paying about half.
Yeah, okay, that's brilliant. That's what I'm saying. So they're paid the 77 mil for this player that hasn't really adapted at Manchester United, Old Trafford, but also been one of the best players. If you look at the stats at Man United, and match that, he was he's still got the better stats at Man United than Rashford and that Antonio and Anthony, whatever his name is, who spent 100 million. Right, he's still got the best stats still there since day one, and they spent 60-something million on Mason Mount that they're not happy with, and we've actually doing a good bargain on Jadon Sancho if he comes to shine this season for Chelsea, and this is what I hope he does because there is a player in him, and he's still young, 24 years of age, still young, and the way he put his press. When I when I came back and watched the highlights. He was speaking after when he got the man of the match. Said, and this is what the Man United gets on. He said that he's happy. He's happy, and he wants to win games for Chelsea every single game. So Sancho, he's with his boys. He's gonna be happy. That's what I'm saying. So I hope he does well for us, and it's a good bargain if in this season, good little 25 million, and Man United's lost out 77 million. Half of the profit of that, 77 million. So it's good. It's good for us, no doubts.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dan. Yeah, Dan over there waffling a whole lot of
waffle box
syrup. But anyway, he said this. Stephen, you want to jump in, or you good before I let Mo come in?
No, I'm good. Let Mo have his say. I spoke quite a bit earlier when we first started, so let Mo have his say.
I mean, I was going to say this. Speaking of Sancho coming back to Chelsea, coming to Chelsea with Enzo Maresca because he knows him. I think it's very very common with managers, players that have worked with in the past, but it's not all
Mhm.
the time that it works. It can be hit or miss. We've seen many times, and it's still going with Manchester United. Bring Eric Ten Hag, bring in
Sandro
big tech.
Martinez,
Yeah,
Anthony, Alderham. The one thing I'll quickly add, actually, whilst I remember, is that
okay.
um, Palmer was actually younger age group than Sancho when they were at Man City. That's the only thing I'm going to add.
All right. So thank you very much. And you can tell that managers see the kind of players that they want, although they've worked with them before. But a lot of things hasn't gone well with Manchester United. Maybe we could say it has to be the style of play. Because you bring in all these players, but still things are not working. The manager's style of play is not really helping the players on the pitch. And I'm sure if imagine having Rashford at Chelsea, guys, do you think that he would match better? He would do better with Chelsea than he is doing with Manchester United. I don't know. I feel like he'd be much better. He'll be well coached playing for Chelsea with Enzo Maresca and banging goals than he's doing for Manchester United. Do you agree with me or not?
Is that for me?
Anyone can jump in.
Okay.
Anyone can
I
jump in.
I think um, Eric Ten Hag has been, and again I might be biased because I'm a Chelsea fan, but I think Eric Ten Hag has been a failure, and the way his relationships have been built with his squad. He seems to be unable to motivate his players. He seems to be unable to connect with his players. Now, other clubs, are they better? Is Arteta better? Is Maresca better? I, I can't really speak to that, but what I can say is this: he is bad. Ten Hag, he hasn't been able to build that relationship, and I think Rashford, if he goes somewhere else, he will get that bounce in his playing ability, in his motivation, in his morale, which will translate well onto the pitch. So, will Rashford do better at Chelsea? Probably for the first 10, 15 games, when he feels that he has that respect, that understanding. He's away from that pressure that has been put on him from his previous manager, until he starts to not perform, and then he will be back to square one. And again, will he not perform? I don't know, because is his lack of performing? Is it because of the problems he's having? Is it because of the lack of understanding that he has with the manager? Again, I'm speaking from a Chelsea fan's point of view, so I don't really know exactly what's going on over there. But I think the fact that Jadon Sancho seems to be more motivated, more driven to succeed, and he clearly has the ability. And he did that. He probably performed better in 45 minutes with Chelsea than he has done ever since he put on that Manchester United shirt. And again, what's the reason for that? We all know about the saga between Ten Hag and Cristiano Ronaldo, and other players. Um, we do have a manager who does target or become very straight or very direct in his communication, at least in the public with players, which he then has to retract, and as we saw with Ben Chilwell. So Maresca is also learning on the job. Maresca doesn't have a lot of experience, and I think he needs to be careful with some of these players. I'm hoping that he doesn't put statements out there that could affect some of these younger lads. Maybe Ben Chilwell is mature enough, is old enough to to reposition himself and to be able to come back to the team and to play. But that situation with a Madweke or with a Sancho, with a Gallagher, it will have bad ramifications. So I'm hoping that Enzo Maresca is more careful in the future and in the way that he talks about players, at least in the public.
Yeah.
How you motivate them in the dressing room, how you motivate them on the training ground, even on that pitch. Everyone has a style, and everyone can succeed with their style, whether we like it or don't like it. Everyone has a style, but it's just putting things out there in the public forum. He needs to be careful because I don't want him to be in a position where he says this player will never play for Chelsea again, and he has to go. And then transfer window shuts, and he's like, okay, he's here. We're going to try to utilize him, because that would demoralize a player, put him in a really really awkward position, and maybe even force him to make a decision that he doesn't want to make, and then to find himself back in the team. So he's got to balance it out again. So yeah, I think. Rashford, Sancho, any player leaving or left Manchester United will be able to perform elsewhere, just purely on the poor performances of Ten Hag.
Thank you very much. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Um,
With me,
oh,
on
go
that
ahead.
one,
Go ahead,
because
Matt.
I don't know what went wrong between Rashford and Ten Hag. Remember, I'm sure it was under Ten Hag where he scored about 7 or 8 on the bounce and he was in he was in a good goal scoring spree, and then something broke. I'm not a Man United supporter, so I need to probably ask somebody what happened, what caused the relationship to break down. So a confident Rashford, there is a player in there, So a change of environment may spark him into life. Uh, the only thing about Rashford, because he's more of a wide forward rather than an out and out striker, and we've got a lot of wide players at the moment. So if we can find a way that he can play down the middle and be successful, then yeah, that's something maybe worth considering. But that's probably why we haven't looked at him at the moment, because the profile that we need is more of an out and out 9, like a sort of Osherman type player. But yeah, I think if he does go somewhere else, and because you saw that with Danny Welbeck, didn't you? When Danny Welbeck was
Mhm.
showing promise at Man United, he went and left and carved out a career for himself at Arsenal and Brighton, and he's had a decent career, I believe. Yeah. But
Rashford played better. Rashford played better with Golo Oshosha when since Ten Hag had joined Man United. The one you're talking about, the 7 goals when he started scoring, it was a clash between Cristiano Ronaldo at that time. That's why he wasn't happy. Like that, since that, it's been unsettled with Ten Hag, Rashford. Max.
oh right, okay, that's what I can't remember what it was that sort of unsettled
I
him,
just
but
text my mate. I text my mate. I just asked him the question what
mm,
you just asked.
mm.
Yeah, and I just text my mate. He's a Man United fan, and he said he played better with gone over the Solskjaer since Ten Hag had fallen out because apparently Rashford and Cristiano Ronaldo were good mates, and when that's something with what Ten Hag did to Cristiano Ronaldo, that's when Rashford started falling apart.
Right, so thank you very much, guys. We're gonna end the show before we draw the curtains for the day, for the long day of streaming, 2 hours to the 2 minutes right now. Before we end the stream today, the last question we're gonna build on is what are your expectations for the rest of the season? Yeah, we're gonna start that from Dan. Dan was speaking, so we go to Dan. Dan, expectations for the end of the season.
Well, where are we going to finish?
Yeah, expectation.
Uh,
Not
the
really
thing,
finished, but expectation.
the way I seen from our defence, we kept a clean sheet against Bournemouth, and the situation is we were very poor. If we carry on being
I'm not
poor,
looking at that. I said expectations,
yeah,
Dan.
the
Expectations.
expectation. What I'm trying to say to you, if we carry on the way we played against Bournemouth, and we could try and we could start building up, because don't forget, there's international breaks between this season, and we've got the UEFA European Cups and all. So, and it doesn't look good. Like once we play international breaks, like people say, we seem to come back. We've never been good after international breaks. We never seem to win a game. We actually lucky to get a point against Bournemouth. My expectation is I'm Enzo Marasca. Right, if Gusto could come back fully fit and we could get our right backs this season, I think we're finished seventh or eighth this season.
to finish seventh in the season.
Yeah,
That up?
7th. Yeah, I think we're finished 7th this season.
Okay.
But
Then
unless, it depends if we do get Victor Osman back in January, because there's talk about Victor Osman coming back in January. If we could get
Can't get
this
them back.
experienced striker, but if we could get this Victor Osman in January, then the whole atmosphere will change in the table. I'll say we're finishing like top 4, top 5 this season. But if we don't get Osman or an experienced
we're not
striker
getting
in
Osimhen. We're
January,
not getting Osimhen in January.
well, there's been a lot of saying that apparently I know that need that they're
It's
but
not
they're
happening.
saying
It's not happening in January.
but it might not happen. But they're saying there's a chance that we're getting him in
Who
January.
said?
So
Who said?
it
Who said
does.
that? It doesn't make sense for a
All
footballer
right,
to go to a
all
club for
right.
just 6 months and then leave the
He's
football
on
club and
loan.
then
He's at
go
loan.
for.
He's on loan.
It
Right,
doesn't happen.
knee.
It's on loan.
He's a
No,
pro
yeah,
It's
but
not
club
happening.
in January.
there's
But
no
Lee,
there's no buy there's no buy
did you hear
option. There's no
Mikel's
buy option.
did you hear
Go on.
Mikel's
Oh,
interview?
I don't listen to that Nigerian rebel leader anymore. It's just crap.
No,
Is
Mikel
it?
said
Is
that
it? Oh wow.
I don't listen to John
we were
Mikel.
close
The
to
work
getting
was too
him.
much crap over there.
Apparently, he said we were very close to getting him, but we just ran out of time. And everything's in place so that if he wants to come in January, then everything will be in place for him to come. So it all depends on how he's
Mark,
loving it
Osimhen.
You know
in
what?
Turkey.
Mark my words. Mark my words. Victor Osimhen will not come to Chelsea in January. Mark my
Well,
words.
if he doesn't, then we're finished 7th, isn't it?
You know
But if
what's
he
going to
does,
happen?
we're finished
He ain't
5th.
got finished 7th.
You know what's going to happen? If Victor Osimhen leave Galatasaray and come to Chelsea in the January transfer window, that speaks more of that kind of the player, who the kind of the player is. You get what I'm saying? You have to be loyal. You move to the football club for a season. That's what you sign to help the
He's got
team.
a break
The team is
clause in there for January so big clubs can come in for him.
Yeah, he
in
wouldn't have put a
January.
Yeah,
break clause in there
but
for
no
a
big clubs
reason.
can't afford
Yeah.
him. No big clubs can afford him in
No,
January. That's the thing,
PSG
though,
aren't
Steve.
going to go for him. Bayern Munich wouldn't go for him because they've still got Kane for another couple of years. Yeah. Saudi, I don't think could go in for him. Yeah.
They could have got Ivan Tony
So who
now.
else is there?
There's no one. There's no one to buy Victor Osman.
I was saying this on deadline day, bro. I said Saudi won't go in for him again. Yeah, because everything that's happened. PSG, I said at the time it won't happen because Goncalo Ramos and Kolo Muani, etc. Yeah. Bayern Munich won't go for him because they got Harry Kane for a couple more years. Yeah. So there's only one. Well, there's technically two options. You either stay rotting on the bench at Napoli behind Lukaku, who typical Lukaku under Conte done well the other day, unfortunately.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Or you go to Chelsea.
All right.
They're your two options now because I don't.
Well,
think
there's Arsenal. Well, I thought this Arsenal could come in for him in January.
I don't think
Just
Arsenal-
one more thing.
Mo, I'm
Only
coming to you. Mo, I'm coming
one
to you.
Saudi
You can add
team.
everything to it. I'm coming to you right now. Done is done. I'll be coming to you so you can add it to it. You can add that to your, your expectations for the rest of the season. Do you want to say it before I come back to you?
Up to you. Whatever works for you.
All right, then go for it. Go for it then. Go for
Yeah,
it.
no, I was just gonna say, one Saudi club tried to buy Victor Osimhen. There is a plethora of Saudi clubs that are still able to buy him, and more powerful clubs. Al Nassr, for example, they could go for him. They have Ronaldo, they have Sadio Mane. There are more bigger clubs in Saudi Arabia that could try to entice Victor Osimhen to go to them. Saudi Arabia is not one team. It's an entire league, and they have a lot of different clubs. That being said, I don't think Victor Osimhen is interested in playing in Saudi Arabia in this point in his career, which for me it makes sense. I do believe that Chelsea will be back in for him. I think the whole ownership, problem that we have right now is it kind of had an impact on this transfer window, and I think it impacted the Osimhen deal directly. Iqbali has one methodology, one idea that he's trying to impose, and I think Todd Bowley has a different one. And again, I'm saying I think because I don't actually have any evidence to back this. But from what it sounds like is, you know, there was discussions and debates going on within Chelsea Football Club in how they can actually pursue this, and I think the agent of Victor Osimhen got a whiff of this, and this is why it dragged on because the agent of Victor Osimhen, who by the way is now sacked and he's replaced him with another one, um, believed that if he can drag this on because one of these two parties, and I'm talking about Iqbali Todd Bowley, may break and actually give that offer that Victor Osimhen is asking for. It didn't happen, and maybe this is something that can be resolved before the next transfer window, before the winter transfer window. I was just say winter wonderland, and those of you living in London know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so
I know what you're about.
the winter transfer window, when it comes through, I think we're going to see a different approach, and potentially, if we put in that offer, we can sign Victor Osimhen. There's no issues there. Galatasaray don't have a say in the matter. It's only Napoli because of that break clause in the loan deal. But yeah, that was what I wanted to say in regards to Victor Osimhen. Nee, you wanted me to close this off, or
Yeah. Whilst you're still speaking, just let us know your expectations for the rest of the season. Where do you think Chelsea find
rest
himself?
of the season?
Yeah.
Okay. So my expectations is different to my aspirations. So I would love to see Chelsea finish in the top four. Do I expect to see that happen? At this point, I have to say no. And it isn't because of Maresca, and it isn't because of the players. It's because of the whole problem that we're having as a club right now. If those issues weren't there, then I would say, yeah, we could potentially, push for that top four, especially after the half decent start we've had. Potentially, we could get into top four. But because of these problems, I'm a little bit reluctant. So my expectations will be to finish in the top six. I'm expecting us to get a trophy this season, and it's probably going to be the Conference League. And again, I'm saying that, we could have some shocked results. Conference League is not easy. There's a lot of traveling involved into secluded parts of Europe that we haven't been, and it could we could have a bad day at the office, and we could be out of the Conference League. But I'm hoping that is a trophy we will have this season. Top six. I'm not sure if we'll get a domestic trophy. We came close over the past couple of seasons, but I think our best bet is the Conference League and possibly a top six. I'm hoping I'm wrong, and I'm hoping we finish in the top four and we do get a domestic trophy. But that's my expectations.
Thank you very much.
That's what I was going to say about the cups and all league, but I was going to say about the cups winning the cup this season. But that's
I
just
gave
a
you a
hope.
chance. I gave you a chance.
No, 'cause I was talking about Osimhen and someone jumped in. Someone talked about Osimhen.
That's why I was
Can I
like,
come
is
in
that
quickly
all?
because I need to go? Can I come in quickly because I need to
Yeah,
go?
yeah.
I'm about to
Go
have
ahead.
dinner.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, yeah, my expectations for this coming season is anywhere between 7 and 4. I agree with what the others have said. If we got a clinical striker, I'll be more confident in us finishing top 4. But I just don't think we're clinical enough, and I think there's a lack of experience within the squad as well. So that's going to hurt us at times as well because you're going to have a lot of inconsistencies in performances this season. So sometimes we'll look brilliant, like the second half against Wolves, and sometimes we're going to struggle. We got the youngest average age, 23, in the league at the minute, and I just feel that if we are pushing for fourth and there's other teams a little bit more experienced than us, we may be found wanting. But yeah, between 7th and 4th is what I think. Yeah. Anyway, I've got to go. It's nice being on the show. Nice seeing you again, Mo. A long time.
Thank you very
And
Big
much,
up,
to
Max.
everyone else. So
Big up,
take
Max,
care,
bro.
guys, and I'm
Take
hoping
care,
to see you
Max.
guys
Nice
on another
seeing you,
show.
Max, again.
Have
Cheers.
a good
Yeah.
night.
Cheers. Bye. 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 Bye.
All right, bye. A big up to you, Sasky, Mantel, the Gunner man in the building. Steven.
Yeah.
All right. Before Steven comes more, let me ask you one more question. Do you think that the power struggling right now at Chelsea, Bowley is pulling, Ekbali is also pulling? Do you think that's really affecting the players on the pitch? Because that was your main reason why you think if that doesn't go away, it could affect the team from getting to top four.
100%, 100%. All we got to do is look at the takeover and how that impacted our performances under Tuchel, one of the best managers of football, in my opinion. You know, when you see that happening at the helm, it's going to impact you no matter what people tell you, what the manager is going to say to you. It's destabilizing, destabilizing. Right now, I'll flip it. I'll flip it and say this: we all have jobs. We all are working. We all, you know, work in our own small teams, but we are part of a bigger organization. Now, when we hear that the CEOs are having a fight, they're having a problem. The company directors are having a problem. We're thinking, how is that going to impact us? How is that going to impact me on my day to day operations? It probably won't have a major impact, or at least a direct impact, but it will be in the back of my mind. And then, I'm thinking, is it going to affect my pay? Is it going to affect my allowances, my expenses, and players will think it down the same lines. So it's going to have an impact. It can be a minor impact. It can be a major impact, but it will be having an impact, and it all depends on how it is treated within the club and how it is communicated within the club. If you have a power struggle within the club, and you are being given the relevant information, the relevant updates in regards to what's happening, and you feel like you're in the loop, it may not impact you as badly as when you think you don't know what's going on, when you're not being updated. Now, with this situation being so sensitive, I doubt that any information is being filtered through to the players, because if it does, it'll be filtered through to the media, and then everyone's going to know about it. So I'm thinking that the players are in the dark on a lot of these situations, or a lot of these aspects, and that is only going to make them a little bit more uncomfortable and a little bit more concerned. So yeah, 100% is going to impact the players.
Thank you very much, Mo. Big up to JB's. JB said that these players, including the coach, are professionals, should be little influence at most, according to him. We expect professionalism to play part in whatever is going on because one way or the other, they're being paid by the football club and they have to put 110% on the pitch anytime they're on the pitch. So I do agree with what JB is also saying and also what Mo is also saying. So let's go to Stephen. Stephen G.
Yeah.
Back to you, brother. Dan is also that comes down again. Go ahead, Stephen.
Yeah. I've got to get off in a second anyway. But yeah, for me, we should be winning Conference League. If we don't, then there's serious questions that need to be asked. I think we can all agree on that one. I don't know, man. I think I've got a feeling we'll get fifth. We might even push fourth. It depends how the next sort of 4 or 5 games go. Actually, correction. We've got a stretch. If I look at our Premier League games, yeah, this would be the area that will define our season for me, right? We have a run of games, if we're talking Premier League specific, right?
Yeah.
That goes like this when I've got it. Liverpool away, Newcastle home, Man United away, Arsenal home. Then we've got Leicester away, Villa home, Southampton away, Spurs away. But the main point is that Liverpool to Arsenal run, yeah? Those 4 games will decide where we finish, in my opinion. Because that's very key. Half of them, so 2 of them, are at home, Newcastle and Arsenal. The other 2, Liverpool away and Man U away, right? But not just that, yeah. the Liverpool games after an international break. And as we said earlier on the show, we know how Chelsea do with international breaks. That's a big, big issue for me. That run of 4, yeah, I think we got to try and find a way to get, I'd argue, at least 2 wins from that. Because if we don't, we're in big trouble. There's a possibility that we could lose all 4 of those. Like, that's a real possibility. Because, look, just speaking factually, those aren't weak teams. They are competing for the European places with us. Yeah? That's why I say that's the crucial point for me in this first half of the season. That's the defining point, because they're the teams that you have to beat around you, because you're taking points off of the teams that you're fighting for those places for, right? That's why they're so key. We also need to improve something that we've struggled at in recent years, which is picking up points against the lower teams, because that's been a big issue for years now as well. But my main thing for me is you've got to take the points from the teams around you. And if we can do that, I think we get 4th or 5th. Otherwise, we're in big trouble. Genuinely big trouble. And these changes camera angle again.
Yeah, because the other one keep disconnecting it. And I'm tired of doing it
I
all
thought
the
you
way.
sorted the wiring for that.
It's just the StreamYard link is low. You know, you have
It's
three
a
bars for the
StreamYard,
signal.
like, it's an issue within StreamYard.
Yeah, it's not a camera, it's StreamYard. So keep knocking it
got-
off.
You got to understand and all, Steve. Yeah, it depends on his injury matters and all, because if we're keeping losing our right backs
I
and
mean,
our
Gusto,
midfields,
Lavia, and Enzo are all back in training. Enzo was ill.
yeah, I said that earlier.
Back in training. Lavia could be back for the weekend. Gusto,
Yeah.
I don't think he's back for the weekend, but he is back in training.
Well, I did say that earlier, there, but the situation, if we how many times are we going to rely on Lavia to come back, and when he's back in injury, like how many times is he going to be back injured and not missing loads of games? The influence I say, Nee, this is what I was saying, like if we could get these games, if we could beat West Ham, Brighton, Nottingham Forest, and after Forest we've got a big game after Forest. I can't remember it's Liverpool, in it after Liverpool, yeah.
That's all.
If we could,
it's international break on Liverpool.
And after then it's if we could go and do a winning strike in these five or 6 games, and we don't have the injury matters and all, then I'll see how we feel. But we have to understand, we said it like plenty of times, we haven't really got a clinical striker to help us finish. Like Nkunku could probably like score 1 or 2 games in different matter of games. Like it could probably help us out, but how many games are we going to see how Nkunku will do? How many games could we see that Sancho is going to do? It's by the Modric going to start playing. Let's see what he could do, because Modric since the last 2 seasons since he's been with us, has been useless. And everyone praised him up. He's the next Eddie and Hazard because he did that skill against Newcastle, and everyone praised him up. Wow, what a goal! Like he doesn't do that in basis every single game. Nuni Madueke, when he scored a hat trick, everyone hyped up Nuni Madueke because he scored a hat trick against Wolverhampton, but he didn't do it against Crystal Palace, and he never did it against Bournemouth.
So you're expecting players to consistently score hat tricks? Players aren't like hard.
No. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying they've scored. The situation our goal difference is 3 goals in the Premier League, right? 3 goals. Yes, you could add like we beat Wolves 6-2. Wolves ain't that good. Hasn't been good since day one, since they started games. They lost to Newcastle.
Right. Let's wrap it up.
But yeah, I'm gonna wrap up. Yeah, what I'm just quickly before Fantasy comes in. Yeah, if Enzo Maresca could get onto a winning bounce in these couple of games, let's see how because where are we in the table now? We're 7th or 8th because we dropped down since yesterday game. If we could win our streak in a few games, then let's see if we can finish in the top 4 mark. But if we can't if we struggle against low block teams like Ipswich, Southampton, and all that lot, then we ain't no way finishing top 4 this season.
All right, so Dan, we are predicting the future. We don't know the future yet, so we just have to come up with what we see now.
Yeah, but in future, we struggle against Bournemouth, we struggle against Crystal Palace League, and
all right, so Phantom is joining us here. Phantom, thank you very much for your super chat. That's hefty one. It will support the channel. I know you support the channel, but yeah, tell me what do you have in your mind?
Okay, the problem I have with you, Nizan, is that you are so inconsistent with whether you want this channel to be a hobby or a business. Okay, like for example, Perry or Blue Lounge or whoever. I know they're not my friends. They're friendly to me, but they're not my friends. They treat me like as a business client. If I go on, I'm a panelist. This is a show. Okay, but you treat me sometimes like you're my best friend. And then sometimes you treat me like I'm just a panelist or a business client, and this is like a CNN formal show. Like you said, oh, the moderators have to get in their word, first before we can do the structure or whatever. But then the other day, you put in the link 5 minutes into the show. And I told you for several days now that I had a big announcement to make. And for 45 minutes, I couldn't get a word in. Now, if every day I can't get a word in for 45 minutes, that's fine. I would get used to it. It's the reason why I don't stay at Marriott hotels, because sometimes I get a Marriott hotel treatment, like it's very formal and very classy, and sometimes it's like Motel 6 when I go there. And it's the back and forth. Like sometimes you have a very informal show where nothing is structured, just like you just run in and then do, like, you throw in the link like 5 minutes after you get in there. And then sometimes it's like, oh no, it's got to be very like A, B, C, D. So like I said, Mo, we're friendly towards each other, but I've never thought of you as a friend. I understand that when I come on your show, I have to make points. I'm there to fulfill a purpose. But like I said, Nizan, I that's the first time I left is because I wrote 50 sentences that day. The first time you and I got in an argument and I spat it out at you really heavily, it was because I wrote you 50 sentences that day, including the words, "Today is my birthday." And you read like 2 comments out of it. You said, oh, none of this is professional. I'm just going to read out what's professional. And then you wrote 2 comments out of it that day. And that really upset me because the fact that if you looked in how many people were watching, it was you, me, and Steven. And you wouldn't read it out. And that's why I got mad. So, you know what? I understand if your financial situation is such that you want to make this into a show that generates profit, or you want to treat it like, Larry King show, CNN. But then you can't have days like, like we were doing the other day where we were just goofing off or whatever, because that's just a bunch of friends getting together on the chats. And you can't swing it back and forth like that, because, it's like, I don't know whether I'm your friend or I'm a business client. And that's why I super chatted you $10, because that's what I do to other people who,
But Phantom, can I ask you a quick question? Can I ask you a question? So when Sky News have friends as journalists and operates on cameras, and day between days that they get pay slips, do you think they have time to try and chat messages on daily basis, like weathers and stuff like that on shows? On a YouTube, you have over 1,000 people watching on probably Cashier's, my stream, Niche stream, and what they do, you have to skip the chat sometimes. Yeah, and then day, if it was your birthday,
I'm not talking about Dan, time
hang
out.
on.
This
hang on. I'm talking. No, look, listen. as on YouTube, you have to be professional. It's a job. It's a job for people when they get paid. And when you are over 3.4 K got followers, you have to be professional because some people could come on this show and watch it thinking, on this show, why am I watching this show where there's dead people in the chat like chatting, just having a laugh and all that? If they want to do that, they could do it on private phone calls in it. You have to be professional on the job on YouTube day in, day out. Why do you
But
think the
that's my
people like to
point.
spend
That's
screen on?
Dan.
Yeah,
That's my
but
point. That's my point.
you're saying you're getting angry because because in a day your announcement, yeah. And also you put an announcement on the show and say, listen, it's my birthday. Any chance you guys could wish me at the end of the show happy birthday? They'll do it. They can't sell it like it's like today. You're begging to send a link, yeah, because an announcement. And he can't send that link just like that. Once you're in
I
the
told
topic
him
and doing
2 days
business, you have
ago.
to.
It's been 48 hours.
Or add it, or add him on Twitter, or add him on WhatsApp, and ask him to send you a link on WhatsApp or Twitter before the show starts. You can't when you're in a topic, yeah. When you're in a topic and all this lot, like people like Mo, myself, or me, yeah. Once someone adds to the show, they have to do top ticks and by donation. They
And
have to go on
sometimes
Hold
he
on,
by
puts
one.
the link 5 minutes into the
all right,
show.
hold on. Let me explain it. Let me explain it. Let me jump in real quick. A lot have been said. Phantom, you and I have got into this situation before, and one thing I think I expect you to know me much better. The first time this happened, remember I kept quiet because with me I've been through a lot of anger therapy, and what I know best is do not comment, stay away, and everything dies off. You remember the first time this happened, but I did not carry on because all those messages that you sent to me in the previous time, you remember, very, very bad comment, but I just soaked it up. I did not want to bring it up here and say it because it's not necessary. But I want
Because
you guys
it was,
hold on,
I told you it was my birthday and you ignored that. And
hold
the
on.
only 3 people watching the show at that moment was you, me, and Steven. There was one person
I
watching.
make you spoke. I
That
give
was
you time.
me.
I don't interrupt you. Let me finish. Let me finish. I can remember that day. Even when you left, you got upset when you left. I read all your comments. Sometimes let's say when I bring people on Steven or Mo or someone on talking, I want to let the content flow. And I've said it, let it flow, and then you come back to the comments. The comments are there. I don't want to be the guy always reading, the guy who always come on the show and always reading comments. I don't want it to be like that, you know. But I'll get in the comments. I give some time between when people are talking. I jump in the comments a little bit, and I let the people flow.
That's not the
I
problem.
you know.
Zion, you're highly inconsistent. You're highly. Sometimes you do treat this as kind of like just friends getting together on YouTube. Like for example, let's say Carefree Lewis. He does the friends gets together on YouTube every single day, and he doesn't pretend like it's some sort of professional show. It's just chatting. It's just like
Phantom,
that. And sometimes
whenever
you have people that are very, very, they run it like Sky Sports or whatever, and he's in it for the money, and he's in it for the money, like Terry Flores, and he doesn't pretend like he's your friend or whatever, and he's just like very the problem I have with you, Zion, is sometimes you're my best friend and sometimes I am just a panelist on your show, or it's like that's my, like, for example, me and Mo, whenever I come on his show, I understand what his show is. He's professional. It's all the time. I'm there to serve a purpose. I'm there to give out comments to feed his show. He doesn't pretend like he's my friend, and I don't think of him as my friend. I don't mean I don't mean like I don't like him or whatever. I'm just saying he's a business associate and it's a business relationship. But you and I sometimes develop that close friendship kind of feeling. And then that's why I get offended, like on a day like today, when 48 hours before I told you I had a big announcement. And then, you're sitting there letting Steven talk about, like games like 2 months from now. And I was going to share with you my big announcement is that finally in my neighborhood, I got high-speed chat, and I'd be able to like be a bigger contributor to your show. One of the reasons why I decided to get the high-speed chat today when I signed up for it at the local show, I thought of you because I thought of you as a friend and not as someone. I would certainly not get this for like Mo because we don't have that personal relationship, and that's what it hurt my feelings to like, for example, if it on some days, I see you're busy and I said, okay, I'll come back another day or whatever, but I told you 2 days in advance I had a big announcement that I wanted to make, and it was like I'm just disappointed.
Phantom, everyone in the way they process things. Maybe you thinking the other way. It's nothing. I mean, it's got to. It's. I don't know how to put it. It's got nothing to do with you. It's got nothing to do with you. And when I come over here, I try to treat each and every one fair. Sometimes I read so many comments that I'm not even supposed to read. Sometimes I go through comments that it's in between two people, but when I realize that, I skip it. But when I realize it's a question, I always say, put your question in. And I keep saying that. For now, in my situation, I'll read each and every comment that come in. When I want to make a business, a time will come, I will not read the comments. I only read comments that comes with Super Chat. Let me finish. You want to, don't interrupt, Phantom. I don't interrupt.
I think
Let me
I
finish,
think
Phantom.
Niz, I think the problem
Let me
it's the
explain.
Bob
Can I
Layton
talk?
rule. The
Let me
Bob
let me
Layton
finish.
rule.
Phantom, can you hear me?
The Bob Layton rule. It's either a
Let me mute you
business.
for a second. Let me mute you for a second. Let me mute you for a second. I don't think you can hear me. Phantom, you're still talking. No one can hear you.
I think you should, I think you should talk in backstage, not on live, where people could hear it, because this is not helping your show at all, Nee, my bro. At the end of the day, he's having a conflict share, an agreement what he's saying. And I think Mo agreed to me this, and so Steve. If honest the truth, yeah, Phantom, you should speaking
Phantom,
backstage, end the show, and speak by backstage because people are watching this, and it's going to influx your stream, Nee, my bro.
thank you very
This is
much.
what I'm trying to say.
Phantom, I've tried to explain to you. The other day that you said that I put a link in 5 minutes to the show, it's a different show. Right after the game, when I do a match review, it is the time for call-ins. And as soon as we do a match review, right after the game, I put a link in for everyone to jump on and have a say. But usually, if you know me better, I never put the link in as soon as I start the show. After like half an hour time, then I put in the link for everyone to come and have a say on the topic that I've put in place. If you pay attention carefully, that's what I do. So I don't know where all this is coming from. I gave you the chance, and I said, if Phantom, if I'm going to have you as a guest and you're coming on the show, usually I send the links in advance to all my people. But I know we've been having communication back and front on what they call YouTube, which is not even the best place to do that because it's public. So to be honest with you, I'll tell you the truth. I don't remember you telling me you have an announcement to make until I started the stream today. I saw it there. I even said, Stephen, before we went live, I told Stephen Phantom that he has an announcement to make. And I said, hold on, guys, I'll send a link in. And I didn't even send a link to Dan. But when I put a link there,
Can confirm he did mention it before the stream, by the way.
Yeah.
He did. He did. He did. He did. I was here and all. He did mention it. But this conversation should be on back show, not on live stream, my bro, because like someone said.
No, yeah, and I would have protected the show before, but today I just don't care. I just don't care. That's why I'm airing this publicly, and whether he wants to put it on live or not, I don't care because I don't consider Niz my friend right now. So I'm not protecting the show. I'm not thinking of the best interests of the show because I don't care. Because I'm just mad
that was
it
me.
keeps
That
going.
was me. I will mute you.
It keeps going back and forth. It keeps going back and forth. Some days it's very formal, and some days it's very casual.
Phantom, hold on.
I understand what you're saying. If I want
to
be formal,
give me a second, please. Give me a second, please. Okay, so I'm going to talk on behalf of myself, and I'm also going to talk on behalf of my friend and brother Nizayon. Okay, because my name has been dropped a couple of times, and I want to just explain something to you, Phantom. This is not a business, not for me or for me. Okay, this is a passion. This is something that we do because we enjoy it. We support our club by doing it, providing a platform for the fan base of our club. Okay, this is why we do it. I don't make a living of YouTube, and neither does Nizayon. Okay, there are many content creators that do make a living from this. I'm not one of them, and neither is Nizayon. Okay, we do it purely for the passion that we have for our club. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, the way we approach our streams, everyone has a different methodology. As you rightly said, I try to do it in a professional manner where I give people a voice and we only discuss football, Chelsea. If we discuss other things, it is towards the end of a stream. We may have a conversation about other stuff, but we do that to the end of the stream because most people watching the stream are watching it for football content, Chelsea content. They're not watching it to have an announcement by Phantom, by Mo, by Steve, by anyone. Okay, if you have something that you want to share on this platform, send a message privately or even in the chat, and Nee will find the time to slot that in, a time that is convenient to his stream. Because again, this is a stream that is not aired for one person. This is a stream that is aired for his entire followers. So, does he see you as a friend? He can answer that. I see Nee as a friend. Okay, I've known Nee for many years now. I do have a lot of people who I classify as friends on this platform, and others who are people that are acquaintances, colleagues, fans. Okay, so there is nothing that is stopping people from becoming friends on this platform. I have friends on this platform who I speak to privately every day, every single day, and I've never met them face to face. I've spoken to them on the phone. I've spoken to them on this platform, but they are my friends, and I care about them, and they care about me. Phantom, you have to be able to put these barriers. You have to understand that these are platforms for the public. You want to use these platforms, then they have to be with the permission of the holder of this platform. You have an announcement to make. Nizayon gave you the opportunity towards the end of the stream because this stream is based around a topic, and that topic is in the thumbnail of the stream. People are clicking to watch. Sorry, people are clicking on this thumbnail for that topic. Not for me, not for you, not for anyone. They're clicking for that topic. Not even for Nee. Only the people who are subscribed to Nee are clicking for Nee. The rest are clicking for that topic. And when they click on that, when they click for that topic, they don't want to be disappointed by someone talking about their birthday. Phantom, I like you. I think you're a fun guy. You have a good vibe around you. You have a good personality. But there is a time and place for all of these things. Okay, do not put this on Nee. Do not try to paint him in a bad picture because you'll fail. You will fail. Okay, this is a platform for a particular topic, a particular subject. This is not a platform for me or for Dan, for Steve, not even for Nee himself to announce personal things. If Nee Zion wanted to announce a personal thing like he did the other day, he did it in the community tab. He said, I'm going through a health problem. I'm going through a family problem. Okay, he does want to connect, but at the same time, there's a time and place for everything. So I'd ask you to show some respect to this channel. And if you do want to have this conversation, like my friend Dan just said, let's do this offline because it's not the right place for this conversation.
Thank you, Mo. Because this is out of order, and like I told you before, Phantom, on the chat. Wait till when my bro Nee does it at the end of the stream. Then he will do it at the end of the stream. You're going off on one on the stream for everyone, the whole world to see on this live stream. It should be on a live stream. It has to be on backstage, or if it's the case, add him on Twitter or social like mobile. Because when I speak to Nee on the mobile on WhatsApp, he phones me and says to me, "Are you busy today?" You don't hear me. My announcement before I said my son Colin's birthday. Yeah, I waited to Nee to do it at end of the stream. I said Nee, yeah, before the end of the stream on the phone. So could you wish my boy happy birthday? And after the topic, what we talk about Chelsea, and at the end of the stream when we had nothing else to talk about, he soon says happy birthday to my boy. That's what the whole point of a YouTube channel. We're not here to talk about people's life history of the thing. If you want to do that, wait till the end of the stream. But my bro knee, this has to be sorted at the end of the stream. Like if you can invite him, tell him to come on at the when you end the stream, because people now watch this thinking to themselves, yeah, what have I come to watch? What is this guy's problem? He just came on and said he don't care, and people's putting in the chat now if this guy should be removed. Well, in the day, we're not going to remove Phantom because we've known Phantom for a long time on the show. Like, we all know each other for a long time. And Phantom, the professional behaviour today, I'm sorry, mate. Yes, yeah, it might have something, but that line, what you just done on these string, is out of control, mate. Any day, I thought it'd be better than yourself, but you should have waited. Yeah, just said to, or you could have said to me on the text on YouTube, said, I can't get. Is any time can I speak to you after the end of the backstage? And then we invited you in the backstage. This conference that ended. Me,
Yeah.
let Mo finish this stream off, and if you want to carry on talking about it, yeah, Phantom, you can wait till the end of the stream. Nee, thank you for all this, all the love today, and nice to see you again, Mo. Much love to you, up to Chelsea, and you, Steve. It's lovely having good contacts and good vibes with you guys, and enjoying the stream and having debates, because that's what love is. But Nee, carry on what you're doing, my boy. Much love to you. Any day, it's your stream. You know, you're the boss of this stream. If it weren't for Nee, Phantom, yeah, we wouldn't have a good YouTube show. If it weren't for Mo, we wouldn't have a good YouTube show. If it weren't for Steve, we would not have a good YouTube show. If it weren't for me, I wouldn't be the way I am. Talk waffles and make people laugh on it, but that's what we do. But the thing is, yeah, you need to realize, mate, the line is over and done with. You should have waited till the end of the stream. I can't believe that. I'm disappointed in Phantom for that. But up the Chelsea guys, and Phantom in future, just to tell me to like wait till the end of end of the show, because that's what he does. He will do it end of the show when there's no topics and no Chelsea stuff.
Thank you very much, Dan. Thank you very much, Mo. Thank you very much, you guys, everyone. Phantom, thank you very much. But anyway, Phantom, look, you've said a lot of things that really hurt me, but I'll let it go. I know you said I don't care. That's why I'm saying this. But I wouldn't come to your business and destroy your business. I wouldn't come to your house and destroy your house. This is my house.
I cared until tonight. That's my point.
Okay.
I cared until tonight.
That don't make it all right, man.
You can't stand in tongues to pick up tongues because they're still going to poke you. Two wrongs don't make it right. But anyway, like I said, look, Phantom, you know I've said this already in the past. Whatever you said to me, if I was some of those friends that you always talk about, they did this, they did that to you, you and I would never have any communication anymore. But I don't let that to be a problem. But well, we're gonna move on from there. We're gonna move on from there, guys, because we are public right now. This thing is gonna go out. I've told you many times that the content that we create, whatever we talk about on this platform, after the stream ends, it goes in as a script on YouTube. That's why YouTube is able to filter things that we say and flag your channel. So everything that we say over here, that is how YouTube send our channel out to people. They recommend it out to people.
I still don't think you're getting the message. Okay, it's not that I care that if you had a formal strict show like let's say Terry, or let's say Blue Lounge, or let's say, but it's the fact that sometimes you go very, very casual, and sometimes it's like, oh, we have to go by this structure where it's first you and then Steven, and then after 45 minutes you get your say, and sometimes you will just open the thing and throw up the link like 5 minutes into it and say, hey, whatever. So
Right.
that's what I'm saying is like my issue isn't that. My issue is you're like the Marriott. Sometimes you go in and it's like the Hilton, but sometimes I walk into a Marriott and it's like the Motel 6.
I don't think you get it. If I come on this platform and I bring certain topics out, that means that whatever I have is not it's not enough to cover the whole an hour and a half. So I say, if you can remember, Stephen, I even brought in the point that we can have some jokes also, because go to Talk Sports. Whenever they sit on their platform for 2-3 hours discussing certain topics, when they're done with the topic, they have quiz, they have other stuff that they add to their show. And I said, okay, let me let people create jokes. Let's have fun. But I don't do that all the time. If I want to do it, beginning of the stream, I'll say, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. I lay the programs out, and at the end of the stream, we're gonna create some jokes. I don't do the joke thing all the time. If I don't have enough to cover my stream for 2 hours, then I bring in certain things. So the last time I go casual doesn't mean I'm going to go casual all the time. That is what you're missing.
Like
end the stream.
Mo.
Phantom, what? Mute yourself, yeah. End the stream because it's not. End the stream, bro, because it's not. This is not helping. A lot of people talking in the situation on the chat. Phantom, professional is. Who cares? Yeah, it's niche show. He could do what he wants. He could send links.
Okay, he can do what he wants. Okay.
It's his stream. It's his stream. It's his stream.
It is his
End
stream.
off.
You're right. You're right.
Right,
it is
you
his stream.
don't pay for the stream up. If you I'll get wound up now. I'm just going to be quiet because I will say something I will regret on this. Yeah, but because the thing is, yeah. No. End the stream, Lee. End the.
No, hold on. Let me explain this real quick. You see my these message over here. He always monitor everything that I do. No one knows him. Everything that I do over here is being monitored by this guy, and that is my brand strategy. Everything that I come with, my logo, my team, everything, my thumbnail, everything that I do on this platform is being controlled by someone. So this message, he's watching, and he came in. He brought his comment in here. Maybe you don't know him. MDS is my brand strategist, and he takes care of everything that I do on this platform. My success lie on him. My failure also lie on him. So I'm not just sitting here and pretend I don't know what I'm doing. Phantom, I know what I'm doing. But I like you and I love you as a person. I have no hate for anyone in this world. Because when I have hate for you and I see you because I hate you and I don't like you, it really kills me. That's why I don't keep hate within me. People that offended me, I let it go. So we're gonna move on from that. Phantom, thank you very much, and expressing your view and everything. That I don't want to go there. But we can move on from there. Thank you very much, MBS. Thank you very much. Chess section, Tyrone, thank you very much for your comments. He says still nothing wrong with the structure. It makes the show more professional and flow better. This conversation should be hand behind the scenes. Absolutely. And when I gave you the chance, I wasn't thinking you were going to just jump on me and start saying this. I was thinking you're going to use this to clarify everything. But then you just got into toxic. We got me in the panel and the chat. Thank you very much. MDS said you want a personal connection. Phantom, personal connection are personal. They shouldn't depend whether a person says happy birthday or gives you an opportunity to speak live. Thank you very much, MDS. Much said.
Big up to you, my boy. Big up to you, my boy, for what he does for you, Lee. Because you got to understand, Phantom, right? A professional, yeah, you don't have to, like Mo said, like Lee said, like I was saying, Steve said. When you're on YouTube, you have to be constant professional for others who are watching this live. Millions of people are watching this live. And the bad thing you've done tonight is you could have, instead of you coming on the live stream and said to me about what you said, you could have done it in a private, message in the backstage and said, "Nee, like
Yes,
something like in the backstage."
and
But you did
prior
no,
to
no,
the
no, no, no.
and
But no,
prior
no,
to
but no, no.
the
Listen,
and prior to the
no,
you always try to talk over me, Dan.
no, because I'm fed up with this, mate. Because in the day, Nee has to pay for the stream. Nee brings every good
Well, I just
person
paid
on
for
his
the
stream.
stream tonight.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you paid it tonight. Yeah, good. Because the thing is, right, he has to. What? What? He didn't have to do this. I'll tell you for a fact now, Phantom. My bro Nee don't have to do this. He don't have, or Mo himself. I gave
Dan,
up the
give
stream.
me a
Yeah,
second. Sorry, Dan, give me a second. Give me a second.
go on.
Nee, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to step in. Could this stream be ended and this conversation be held
Yeah, end it.
behind the scene, please?
All right, let's end
Yeah,
this real
please
quick.
end it, Nee. End it.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. We're gonna continue the stream behind the scenes and then finish it up. But I want to say one more thing before we end it. Phantom, I'm sure you remember you have a problem with one guy called Swadish. That guy was also commented subscriber and a viewer every day. This guy is here, but since the last time you had that problem with him, I've never seen the guy here again. Now it doesn't affect you, but it affected me. You get what I'm saying, Phantom? Swadish, the guy you talk about,
Because he was telling me what to do.
now you see it affected my channel, and staff also do the same thing. It affected me. The fact that I'm very nice doesn't make me a weak person. I'm not weak. I'm just trying to be nice and entertain people. If you like to speak,
Nee, end the
thank you very
stream,
much.
bro. End the stream so we
Guys,
can
thank
talk
you.
this in
MBS,
backstage.
much love to you, brother. Thank you very much. DJ Sub, thank you very much for spending time with us. We'll be back again some other time. Guys, bye for now.